And here we are again. Winner of this moves directly to the grand final. And we have Mongols on Arabia here for Hera. This is a dangerous civilization with the timings. So Hera, he's been aggressive, he's been defensive, depending on the series and the game. Clearly going to be offensive here against Yo's Hindustanis.
Oh, that means the Mongols' idea, therefore Fortress, won't really happen. Will be interesting to see what he is going for there. Hera, he obviously loves to be the aggressor, loves to be the one attacking first. Mongols, faster hunt, you get more resources early on. This could be a really early uptime to Feudal Age, maybe even pop 18 without Loom?
Yeah.
Could he be that crazy?
I think so, right? Because there's, on Arabia, players these days, they can probably assume what exactly is going to happen, right? So he skips Loom, a little risky if the opponent's scout would be coming forward. I believe we're just slightly catching up here.
Correct.
To where they're at as well, which is why it's going slightly faster here. But I mean, Yo has been there, done that a million times against Mongols. He fully understands the job. And I think if Yo can weather the storm, Hindustanis are insanely strong against the Mongols long term.
That's so true. If we get to all those camels, especially Imperial Camel, it's just wrecking through everything that the Mongol player could offer. Interesting approaches here, right? Hera, no Loom. As we said, pop 18. On the other side, 19 with Loom. So 50 seconds difference there.
So Mongols seen as the better scout civ here, seen as one of the best scout civs because of all that hunt. And they both probably know it's going to be scouts. So what do you think about in Yo's position here? A lot of times you don't want to match your opponent at something they're better at, but scouts is also a pretty good opening for the Hindustanis.
Thing is, you're not really worse, you're just a bit later, right? So you have to accept, okay, he will have the aggression, I will need to defend, maybe some small walls around my woodline, around my berries, and then my scouts will be as strong as your scouts, right? They have the same price, so theoretically, okay, I'm pushed back a bit, but we can still take reasonable fights.
Can you imagine if you're in a race and someone says, you're not worse, you're just later? Scout is here. Scout is here. And it is a race to Feudal Age.
Yeah.
And an amazing find for Hera. I mean, he doesn't leave his base at all. Opponent comes to scout him, and now Yo gets punished for it. The faster scout, the more attack, immediately leads to the kill. And Yo won't know. He won't at least be able to confirm Hera's opening here.
29 HP still on that scout. That's a really nice opening for Hera. Only builds that stable with one villager though, so Hera will be losing 15 seconds in the scout production there towards this one.
Yep, so obviously Hera will kind of have the whole map to play now. He can see what Yo's up to. Yo feeling a little bit of freedom to wall a little bit because that initial scout is weak and he'll know about the timings here. But it's just so hard to catch up to Hera, and it's so hard to catch up to the Mongols, right? I really like the pick, by the way. At times, Hera goes overly greedy, and I feel as though that could potentially, I say this, he hasn't lost a game, but potentially be a problem. And I see it. It's like the second he's actually the one on the offensive, he can do whatever he wants behind it. So it's a really good choice, showing the confidence he has against Yo, maybe stylistically. Look at him run back and forth. He's like, go ahead, go ahead. Yo doesn't even budge. And Yo finally clicks a villager here, but that's Hera saying, hey, this is what you're going to have to deal with in the series.
And Hera goes full aggression, right? Typically, with the extra resources for Mongols, lots of people think, okay, maybe I'm not finding the villager kill. I'm trying to squeeze in the farm upgrade, not Hera.
I love how Yo doesn't even click. Like, Yo doesn't even click. Like, that's so funny. So many people would have reacted with the vills. Yo just stands there, and that's what you need to do sometimes when someone's microing in front of your face. We've got the archer range now from Hera. He'll know that it will be scouts from Yo, but spears. So I think the plan would probably be archers here.
Well, scouts for Yo pretty soon. Wants to take the engagement, still has more HP here. But Hera, that will be lots of aggression. And Yo, yeah, he walled the right-hand side, but this is still open.
He's clicking them back and forth. I think he's trying to get his units to stack on top of each other with the clicks.
Ah, could be something.
Like, I think that's what that is. I don't think it's necessarily clicking. I could be wrong, but with stand ground, you can kind of maneuver. I mean, it's first game. It kind of feels like he's like trying to send a message too.
First archer now in the queue. Maybe he's trying to make something happen there. Obviously, with the box formation, they should be close together.
They do. Yeah, it didn't change much. I'm just curious on that. Hera had so many scouts here, and now Yo just walks forward with less scouts, and Hera's chasing. This is kind of crazy how this is turned around, and suddenly Hera's on the defensive.
It's good for Yo, but he invested a lot into those walls, therefore the archer range later. I think he needs to get one up. He already has 3 on gold, so it should be scout archer versus scout archer.
I mean, all things considered, right? Mongol should have the fast start, the fast numbers. Yo lost his first scout. This is okay for Yo right now. The next wave could be really dangerous.
Double range. Hera realizes, damn, the distance is really short. I can double down here. Because typically it's one range and then you go for the blacksmith.
Yeah. Well, Yo should see that. I'm pretty certain he's seen this, yeah. So now he'll know it's 2 range.
I think tower time.
Yeah.
Don't think with the 3 golds. Look at the minimap. How open Yo's golds are.
Look at
this
how.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just getting excited here at how reactive their armies are and how quick everything is here. It's insane just how precise everything has been so far for both of them. First, kill beyond the scout, I guess, so second kill for Hera. And Yo.
The golds.
Yeah, the golds are a problem.
So bad. Yeah, this is the one. I think only 1 archer range, and now starts with the first archer. On the other side, we already have 3 plus double production. Yo could die here if he isn't cautious.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have the number of scouts. He won't have the number of archers. He doesn't have the map with the back resources here. And here come the archers forward. Yo is going to get bloodlines. Hera won't have that. But if Yo doesn't spot this, you're right. He'll be pushed off of gold.
Oh, man. The tower could be an option here. It's 1 single archer only. He's not going for any skirms. Now he adds another one. He might be underreacting.
I think he's underreacting to what he typically faces, right? You're not usually seeing the double range. Now, he did scout it, but
Bloodlines.
maybe you're not expecting the opponent to also be able to get bloodlines. Hera is bringing as much aggression as humanly possible here while still having a decent economy. And Yo is known for being really patient under pressure.
Yeah.
So he's never one to overreact. So I think he's hoping he can get by without the tower. But that spearman will get sniped, and yeah, I mean, you're going to be pushed off that gold, Yo. You got to get out of here.
One villager, low HP. She gets really ambitious as well. Bloodlines finishes for Hera. He wants to take this fight.
Yeah, and that should be an amazing fight for Hera. He has more scouts here. The micro's been really good as well. And in game number 1, with Yo's gold right there, this might be over before we even hit Castle Age. Hera will back away so he doesn't run into that town center fire, but this is such a good position for him.
Oh man, the scout's so low as well. 17 versus 7 military, pushed away from the gold, and we said he can't get other golds.
Yeah, and now you don't need to do anything special. You just need to hold this position. Now, you can also recognize that if Yo doesn't retake this position, he's dead.
Yeah.
So what's he going to do? He's going to make a lot more army, and so Hera just continues to produce the army from his buildings right now.
Just makes a lot of sense. Is walled behind this, but obviously the Hindustani scouts with the extra bonus can maybe get through those walls a bit faster, but he's already doing so much damage, taking out the archer range first and also the farms.
Yeah, now Hera should sense something's up here, and he should be double checking to know if he's fully walled.
Yeah.
It looks okay. You're right, his buildings can go down quickly, but he's not that far away with his scouts either. So, okay, there's an archer. Yo misses that. Yo's got a lot to worry about at home.
Might he be open? The scouts are moving in. Maybe next to the woodline? No, he attacks now. Oh, this is really good.
Yeah,
Hera.
and a lot of the scouts are weak as well. Hera can just eject archers behind. And so the player who has not lost a game so far opens up with maybe the most aggressive Arabiasive, goes for one of the most aggressive openings we've seen from him so far. And Yo will go for a tower, but he still has no gold.
Yeah, that's not the tower that he needed. Now it's, I think, the second stable, right? Mr. Yo will simply realize, okay, well, I'm not going archers. I just need to overwhelm you with scouts.
The thing is, like, what's the HP on the scouts right now? It's not good for Yo. And Hera, it's pretty much similar here. And he has the archers. So I don't think this is going to be easy for Yo to take a fight.
Armor now both getting the attack upgrade here. Yeah, I also think that Hera would be winning this one. How many scouts do we need? Maybe 6 more? Something like that. But he's losing the stable at the front, so he can't catch up with production.
Yep, and yeah, Hera knows it.
Might just go down.
Hera just not going to give him any chance back into this game. They're both leaning into for the big engagement. Yo has to run up the hill. That's a horrible engagement. His scouts also kind of spread out there. And I think Yo taps out here. Hera with a very dominant game number 1.
Wow, 17-minute game. And simply an underreaction there by Yo. He kind of scouted, yeah, okay, but he saw the double archery range. He had the intel.
Yeah.
I think he was just greedy not building the defensive tower on his gold.
Yeah, I think Yo likes to drop TCs later, and if you drop the tower, you're not able to do that. And,
but it's just that if you don't get Castle Age, you can't even drop TCs.
Well, this is true. This is true, and I mean, credit to Hera there for opening up with crazy attack. I think like that, so there's the Hera factor now. There's the fear factor when you're up against him, right? And I think a game like that adds to it, right? It's just like, all right, you're maybe thinking, maybe you pumped yourself up before this. Maybe you're thinking all positive thoughts. I'm going to remind you why you're worried about me. And there you go, 1-0.
That was brutal.
That was brutal. It was brutal. And I got to bring it up. We're always in the back room having discussions, and I did feel as though Yo was very confident and happy with his performance. He was very transparent, always is in the interview, and he was just like, I'm playing my best Age of Empires I've ever played at a LAN.
Especially on day 1 and 2, right?
Yes, especially that. Yeah, because he's normally much hotter later stages. He walked into the room when we were watching the Hera Leary series in the back, and Yo looked at the screen and he just goes, "Am I even going to win a game tomorrow?" And he said it like in a joking manner, and then of course I naturally reacted by pumping him up, like, "Dude, you've been playing insane," all that. But you wonder, even if that was a joke, how much of that, how much belief of that statement was in his mind there, just because of how good Hera's been playing, and the last couple times they faced each other, it hasn't looked good.
Yeah. Hera has been looking so sharp, and it feels like Yo, if he wins against Hera, if he tries to find a way to victory, it has to be through strategies. Weird matchup, has to put Hera into situations where he's not comfortable. But if Hera is playing pop 18 no loom scouts into double archery range, that's where he shines.
Yep, and that's why it was a good pick on the draft. Really good pick on the draft. Also kind of a good pick on the draft because that's a very Yo pick. So Yo is in love with the Mongols as well. But let's look at these maps. Fortress, very different from what we just saw. More strategic, more slow build. Coast to Mountain, very different from what we just saw. Arabia, even though it's a map that everyone's obsessed with, it's not quite as strategic. That's just the reality of it. So it comes down to strategy now and a combination of all the other factors, of course. And we have Regicide Fortress, where I have to point out, they have spawned incredibly close to one another.
Yeah, and incredibly close means we don't need mobility, and we are really good with the timings. And what am Malay shining at?
Yep. Everything you just said, that was my thought exactly. Like, if Hera could get a map generation for this Civ matchup, this would be it right here. They're next door neighbors. I mean, if we could just look from Hera's castle, the distance between Hera's castle and Yo's castle.
It feels like you can trap from home.
Yeah,
So
you
close.
could trap like right in the middle there. There's also a greater chance that one of them runs into the other person's castle with their king.
I think it's far enough, right? The castle feels like 3-4 tiles away, but yeah. It's a bit closer. The castle, by the way, on this map generation always spawn to the front, so you kind of know where your opponent is going to be, and you can be a bit safer with your king movement.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've seen that Yo lost his castle. But yeah, Malay, advancing faster to the next age. Gives you indirectly more villagers because your TC can produce more. But if you want to go for the trap war, if you want to go for the timing attacks early Imperial Age, that's just the dream for them.
So here's a question. I mean, Malay can play standard, the more boom approach, very well, but if Hera scouts that, does he adapt his whole strategy to a fast imp?
He can play fast imp. That would be a bit weird because what is he building? Like 2 bombard cannons?
Yeah.
Can't really push with that. What I could see is him just playing a bit bigger castle age. Kind of the Yo special, right? Reach Imperial Age with 120 villagers and build like 10 Hussite wagons before that.
Okay. Well, relics are very evenly distributed here. There's one in the north, there's one in the east, there's one in the west, there's one in the south. And so the Kings they haven't found walls yet. They're just scouting out there. That's safe for now. Not so safe once Feudal Age comes in. Bohemians have just been insane on this map this tournament. I think we've seen them win every time. There may have been one that I'm forgetting.
I remember 2 games.
And I think they were both Bohemian victories.
Against Burgundians of the Viper, Tero today.
And against Khmer.
Hera against Tero, yes, on our first day.
Yeah. I think there was also a Kingston game where he played Bohemians against Tato. But that was Bohemian. Yeah, Bohemians lost to Turks there, I believe. We covered that one together. So I guess
66%.
They haven't won every game. Okay, here we go. Is the map going to nerf Hera? No.
Just no way!
If the scout's around, that king's still going down. The scout is chasing. The scout is chasing. The scout is on the way. The scout is on the way. But wait, Yo is to be careful here. You don't want to lose your scout. Hera will block, and everything's fine. Hera's taunting him. He's like, you can't get me. And don't lose your scout, Yo. Don't lose your scout, Yo. Don't get baited. No! I can't believe Yo let him do that. Yo is laughing. He knows he just got. Well played from Hera there, I have to say. That was a beautiful way to finish what could have been a disastrous situation.
Incredible. We're playing with the game mode regicide. Losing the king means losing the game, no matter the state of it. He was down to 10 HP.
I mean, this is gonna come off as harsh here, okay? Because it is regicide, and you're supposed to go for the king. But Hera is never stopping like that unless he's baiting you in the castle fire. You always have to run back.
But it was 2 hits away.
I know, but they're like
2 hits.
Two
hits from winning.
The player who destroyed him in game number 1 is never going to not click his king in there. That was beautiful from Hera, though. I really like that.
That was a sick block.
Oh, can you? I mean, Hera's probably. He went from terrified to elated there.
This is a good spot, since this is relatively slow, to maybe get some replays from the face cams. That's my request from production, because that was a really emotional moment for us, and it had to be even more emotional for them.
I looked at both faces. I saw Yo visibly like laughing, almost had a look of respect. I didn't see Hera's face change at all.
Okay.
Hera's face did not change one bit. Now, I obviously might have missed something there, but
Maybe a slight smirk.
That was sick.
He had to be proud of himself, right?
Yeah, it's a sick move, dude. I mean, if that happens, the second the series ends, I'm going back to the hotel and I'm rewatching everyone's reactions in Twitch. So
healed a bit in the castle and is trying to scout the right-hand side. By the way, no gold collected here for Hera. Played a really fast uptime and will play 2 town centers for now.
Yeah, so Malay should have the villager lead because they advance so much faster to the next stage, and that should lead to a better eco in that way. I do think, though, what Yo could do, he's got the better unique unit for map control. Well, maybe in some ways. At least if the unique units fight, the Hussite wagon shreds the Karambit. But I think Karambits are actually pretty good to camp on relics as well, to stop monks from bringing them in.
Yeah, absolutely. Could be nice to get some map control. The question is, with this super short distance, we are rarely getting into the scenario where an advantage 4-1 or 3-2 relics is actually important. I
Agreed.
think getting to him faster with a strong economy might be more important than the super late setup.
Here's a question for you. So with the king scenario, which was crazy, and I'm talking about how maybe Yo shouldn't have taken the bait there.
Yeah.
If that's Yo against, I don't know, like Licks or someone he's favored against, do you think he sticks around with the scout, or do you think he runs back?
The thing is, does he think Lux is debating him?
Well, I guess that's fair.
Like, Lux wouldn't
fair.
set up the bait that much. I think you just...
Here's the replay. We could watch the player faces. Hera seemed to smile there for a second as he got hit. And now let's see. Yo has actually had a smile on his face already, in all honesty. And, well, he's chasing. This is where I think right about here, you see the walls, you've got to know. Yo can't help himself. And Hera, not much of a reaction there, but you know there's a much bigger smile going on inside.
Oh, that was beautiful.
That was still a pretty crazy moment, dude.
So
I'm kind of proud of myself because I thought that was maybe a possibility. So to keep that in mind, everybody. These generations could probably get you. Imagine if it's a final.
It's 2TC Hera, by the way. I think he will have a really fast MPH. On the other side, Mr. Yo plays 3TC plus is picking up relics.
Okay, I'm going to say something. It sounds a little unorthodox for what we've seen so far, but hear me out. Fast chemistry, stay in Castle H with double archery range, hand cannon production to hold map control, if you're Yo.
I think we have seen that like Nikov being played by Nikov on Arena, right?
On Arena, and there would be a siege tower incorporated, which would be extra cool.
Ooh.
ACCM and Nikov love that. But kind of the logic here is this game is decided by Treb position or bomber cannon position, and we established the Treb needs to be around where Hera's scout is right now.
Yeah.
So you need an army there. You could just make Hussite wagons. That might be easier because it's a form of gunpowder. You don't have to get chemistry. But yeah, I want heavy army production from Yo in the middle because otherwise you're just going to get Treb down in early in.
I think if we're not starting with the castle, the hand cannon approach makes a lot of sense, right? Because you get the map control, and Hera doesn't really want to take into Arbalest to find a counter there, or maybe even wild 40C elephants. But with the castle, Hussite wagons just feels like such a natural choice.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So Hera, maybe a little surprised he hasn't seen a Hussite wagon yet. I think he just caught a glimpse of that. He's going to get the relics, which is so easy for him now because the opponent's scout isn't out there. So that scout was a massive loss. It wasn't just one unit going down. It wasn't just the mental win of killing the enemy unit. It can affect the relic count hugely.
Can we quickly check if you scouted all the 3 remaining relics? Because especially with the scout going down, this could be an easy hiccup. And
he has no scout.
It doesn't see a single one of those 3.
Yeah. Well, kind of makes sense, right? He did get 1 in the north already.
Let's see if he gets baited again.
He's got
Dodged.
a much tankier unit here.
Dodged. Okay, extra projectiles did the damage.
Yeah. Extra projectiles help. That'll feel good for Yo, as will the 1 relic in his monastery. But Yo...
4th TC with a short distance.
Going for a big boom, and Hera soon going to click up to him. This is where you need tons of wagons. I'm okay with it if you've got like 5 to 6 wagons in the middle.
I'm getting so scared. I'm getting so scared. We hyped it up as a crazy set. And now this is like the dream scenario for Hera. Mr. Yo, greedy again. Hera, timing attack again. Short distance. This is basically a repeat of game 1, just with walls.
Yeah, but it's like... And maybe, again, a little questionable in some ways because he saw the double range in game number 1.
Yeah.
And there was no tower, right? Who knows how that game goes otherwise. But right now, I mean, I will begin to question it if there's no additional army in the middle. It's fine as long as he slows down the Treps. Hera he will need protection for the Treps. He's going for a 2nd monastery now. That's going to be monks. I mean, if he just goes redemption, he can convert the wagons, right?
Yeah, block printing. That could be an option. Hera is sending 6 villagers on stone though, so might want to build the forward castle. This will be the 2 TCs. So, Mr. Yo, if he can hold this, if this game goes to minute 30, I see him being ahead.
Yeah, yeah, that's the timing here, and Hera will understand that as well. That's all part of the game plan. That's how it pans out.
He's going for redemption. So actually, Hussite Wagon might be a poor addition.
Yeah.
Hera is playing against us, and Mr. Yo just skips the Hussite Wagons for now.
I mean, if it's going to be Bomber Cannon War, you can still maybe be somewhat close to matching. I don't know if you can be somewhat close to matching the Bomber Cannon timing here, but in theory, the Bohemians are the civ to do that because they can research chemistry early, but you got to click up to Imp, and you got to click up to Imp against the best fast Imp civ in the game on a very short distance here. I mean, Hera probably wouldn't have played this way if he didn't see the generation. He is going to kill that monk, and he could convert that wagon in a second as well. So that should be another relic for Hera. Trebuchet on the way out of that castle.
At least Yo gets the confirmation, okay, you apparently have redemption and might be thinking about block printing after finishing Sanctity. And he knows, okay, I'm not doing more Hussite Wagons.
It's unfortunate. I think if you wanted to go chemistry, you would have had to do it already. You've now waited too long. Your resources are too close to Imp. That was a crazy conversion. I mean, all the players will say that Yo deserved that because they all joke that Yo gets the best conversions in the game. But yeah, Hera knows there's nothing you can do to stop me. And he just walks forward for a castle right there. This is where his king almost died. I'm pretty sure the king ordered this position. It would make sense.
Reclaim this land.
Oh, man. Look for my blood. That's where you will build the castle. I'm really struggling to know what Yo can do here without like losing his castle, losing his base.
The thing is, against monks, it's not that bad to lose the castle, right? You kind of want Hussite reforms. Or not Hussite reforms, Wagenbau techniques, so that your bombard cannons will be a bit faster. But then, against what Hera's building, you kind of want to play bombard cannon, he needs skirmishes.
And he's surprised that Hera didn't go for chemistry here. Is that part of the plan? Because I was expecting his own cannons, but maybe if he thinks his opponent will make monks, Trebs is the best way.
Not even sure if he has a university, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does.
I mean, maybe he did click it. I can't see the castle firing on anything. And yeah, okay, so the castle stats show he doesn't have it yet.
It will be monks to the counter, no chemistry now.
I think skirms. Skirm hand cannon. You make skirms with a mix of hand cannons.
Yeah, hand cannon for sure. Well, like they do a lot of damage, right? They 3-shot a monk.
Yep. Hera goes 1 trep. There's a 2nd on the way, 3rd and a 4th on the way. Just take some time to roll these thick boys forward. And I want to know what the next step is for Hera.
Maybe another TC, or is he continuing to play 2?
Also, there's a hole there in the wall. which Hera might have forgotten about, but he can actually roll right in there.
Yeah, true.
I think Yo deleted
Castle?
that when he used his scout earlier.
Yeah, true. And I think castle goes down before we have the unique tech finish. So no faster speed there.
Hera 7 monks, 5 karambits. The karambits won't accomplish a ton. Yo just about to complete chemistry. He makes it to imp. Any other civ, he's completely dead. The fact that he could get chemistry ahead of time was really helpful here.
Absolutely.
And now Hera gets to get his karambits in there and see what Yo is planning on. And clearly, it's going to be hand cannons. But Yo is a 20 villager lead right now.
Yeah, could be nice. So far, 0 military really, though. We'll get 10 hand cannoneers. And moving in with those. Yeah, he waits a bit. I think he should be able to clear this up. But he doesn't really have any units to kill the traps.
Yeah. What is that castle foundation from Yo on the right side of his base?
Maybe wants to protect the 2 golds, the stone, and it's a bit of indirect pressure to the right.
I don't think... Yeah, I mean, it's a good position if Hera doesn't look there. I wonder if Hera's able to recognize that that's where all that gold is. He goes for conversions here, and he'll get a conversion or 2, and he's going for the relic heist to get that relic back to his base.
That's sick. And it will be 5 relics. It will be 5 relics for Hera. The spot where we said the relics were distributed evenly.
Bit surprising that Hera hasn't gone for fletching, in my opinion. I thought after seeing hand cannons, we'd start to see those upgrades. Shift out of monks, potentially go into some range units here.
Yeah, and he realizes that. He's adding a town center. He knows, okay, this push is not finishing you off. Nice defense, Mr. Yo.
It was really, like, Yo has such a tendency to play relaxed in high-pressure situations. And unfortunately for us, and for him, it was too relaxed in the previous game. But here, I mean... That's a trebuchet that he's going to take down with villagers somehow. Really needs that TC. I think the TC will go down. Unfortunate. It just rebuilt it. It's fine.
That just made the sound like if someone misses the putt in golf. The whole crowd's like, oh.
The crowd in Wii Golf? Oh, that's funny, man. I mean, Hera's push, it took out some town centers. It took out a castle, but... He's behind in villagers, and he's still just making monks here, nearly.
Yeah, that won't be enough. Against mass units, that's not pretty.
Also, the trebs were all kind of split up in different directions, and still not seeing any signs from Hera that he's going to switch. It feels like he knows he's going to have some time, and he's trying to buff up his eco behind this with TCs. But well played from Yo.
Hand cannons will move faster, bombard cannons will move faster, gets a lot of the monks.
Wow, we might see a score flip here in a second. Those karambits are not going to stand a chance. Mr. Yo holding on here, and Hera's castle sticking out like a sore thumb right now. Where is the transition from Hera? There's ballistics. I'd expect archer ranges soon. And yeah, it's important for Yo to just keep a close eye on his cannons now. He really needs trebs.
Yeah, he is queuing 1 up. Obviously, the bombard cannons right now without siege engineers 12 range. That's why he's trying to help them out a bit against the 12 range monks.
This, by the way, guys, just for your own general knowledge when watching the game or playing the game, this is also the weakness of the fast imp. You can hit quickly, but you just run low on resources compared to a full boom. The res collected's been much higher for Yo. Obviously, Hera's been able to gain some great map control and get the 5 relics. But Yo's 4 TC boom paid off just much later than we thought it would.
Now he's outranging the monks. And if he gets Hufnitze, he actually one-shots those monks, even though they have sanctity, so that could be a great counter as well.
I like that from Hera. A couple raids maybe to the side. His eco's getting better. He's getting those techs in. I'm sure we'll see archer ranges soon. It's kind of crazy. I think if Hera would have used his trebs on the right side, Yo would have been dead. That's where all of Yo's stone and gold was.
But you needed to be close to your castle.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first castle would have been to the right.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh-oh.
I think devotion is in for Yo. I would like to call that Deyotion. Because Yo always gets the best conversions.
Natural Deyotion.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to stick, but it's worth it. Worth a try. Hera trebbing down that castle. Sometimes the weakness here when you go forward castle is since it's not naturally around your eco, you don't actually have as many builds to repair.
That's a lot of stress for Hera. And if the castle goes down, I think the skirms can move in.
That's a big army from Yo. What in the world?
50 military against 30.
Hera still doesn't have any ranged units on the field here. He's still sitting back waiting for upgrades. Mr. Yo could clear everything here. He'll lose some skirmishers, but who cares about that? And the trebuchets for Hera are all exposed.
Oh boy, what a big clear up here. Bombard cannons, maybe they're dying. Doesn't look like it. And those monks, they're really slow when trying to retreat.
Elite Karambit Warrior for Hera. When there's hand cannons on the field, he really just seems to be uncomfortable and unsure of what to do right now. He's got 5 relics. I'm waiting for skirms. I'm waiting for anything out of an archery range.
It feels like against what we see right now from Mr. Yo, elephants would be the natural choice. But then Bohemians with their incredible halberdiers, it just feels like the counter is just around the corner.
Yeah, and that's why Hera wanted to kill him fast. Because he didn't want that to be a conversation at all. Still 5 relics. He's very close in the Vil count now. But Hera needs to keep this castle up. That's where his relics are, right behind it. Look, another castle in the south
And he's
now.
moving the king.
Yeah.
Hera. He knows, okay, push could be around the corner here.
Did he put it in the castle or a tower?
I think it's
Okay.
a tower.
If you put it in the castle, it's very likely you accidentally send that forward.
Lots of resources for Yo. I just thought he wanted to click. Who needs to maybe? Really costly upgrade, slow upgrade, but feels like ballistics and some armor for the scum.
How has Yo done this? How has he been able
Ground
to
attacks
just
here.
relax in under so much pressure against such an amazing player? The Karambits will die for the Trebs. The monks behind are going for conversions. And Yo will lose 1 bombard cannon. Yo could lose all of his bombard cannons. He could lose all of his Trebs.
He's losing most of his monks as well. Yeah, this is costly, but this is costly for Hera as well. I think this is somewhat even, and it feels like Yo can replace this a bit easier.
Still no answer to hand cannons. The Elite Karambit Warrior against Gunpowder is a head scratcher for me. And the ranged upgrades came in. I think Hera did it because he realized I don't have time to go ranged units. Also because there's bombard cannons as well, right? But
this is not fast speed, by the way, the production, right? You look at the Karambits, like how they're producing.
The Karambits are like, you want us to go all the way over there? Oh, man. Well, there's Hoofnita, and there's Heresy as well. Those are expensive upgrades. 1,000 gold. And now if Hera gets a conversion, or at least when that completes, the unit will just die. It won't switch sides, which isn't the most helpful in these scenarios, but if you have the gold, I think go for it.
Simply that the bombard cannons might not kill your bombard cannons there.
Yeah.
Some skirmishes at the front, and, well, you simply can have more units to then kill the monks after they're done.
Hera's gold is going to go to Yo now, underneath that TC. Yo will be very happy with that.
Monasteries at the front.
Yeah, monasteries are at the front. Yeah, there's an argument.
Is that the one with the 5 relics?
I think they're in multiple, if I had to guess. There's one, and there's another one to the left. Just off screen there.
Okay.
That's a big army of hand cannons. And you can convert, but you can only convert like 1/5 of them. And the rest of them just chew up the Karambits. This is looking very difficult for Hera. This might be his first loss of the tournament.
Such a crazy pressure here. And those Karambits, yeah, there are plenty of them, but they're super weak. Bombard cannon shots could just kill them. Now trying to move in. Mr. Yo, can he hold this?
I mean, bye-bye Karambit Warriors, right? Like, these things are so low HP against Gunpowder. Hera will dive. Yes, the units are cheap, but it feels like a slaughter here. Yeah, it's a slaughter.
It's a slaughter, but down to 2 of Nietzsche here. Yeah, we have more hand cannons in the queue. That got completely slaughtered. Hera at pop 160, 144 villagers. He doesn't have any army left.
Panic time for Hera here. He really needs gold. He's just now making his own cannons. He just sold off all the excess resources he could to drop another castle. It seems like he won't relocate those relics. This is his last stand now. If he holds this position, he'll feel like he has a chance, but if he loses any more ground, we might see the GG.
Also needed that castle to get to pop 200 again. Now the gate maybe could get attacked. Feels like Yo's cleaning up a bit more there. Still 30 on gold. Look at that. 6 on gold only for Hera.
Well, I think Hera's bombard cannons actually allow him to hold here because Yo doesn't have monk upgrades himself. And so there's possibilities Hera can convert cannons, and that's not the case for Yo. And if Hera, with that much on food, can get archer ranges down and make skirms, I kind of like his chances. He's still got the 5 relics. He's still Hera. He's got a nice Vil lead.
After the game number 1 against Taro, I will never count out Hera.
Yeah.
Came back, popped 110 against 200. Now monks are moving in, well controlled. This could be tricky to defend here from Sayo.
The thing that's tricky here, if Hera ever loses his group of monks, it's unlikely he can make many more, and then Hussite wagons become insanely strong for Yo against skirmishers. So Hera needs those 6 monks to always stay alive. Again, has big gold problems right now. Only 6 on gold. Finally, we see elite skirm and the skirm's in queue, but all he loses is bomber cannon.
That's a nice snipe here for Mr. Yo. And yeah, lead skirms, what we wanted to see, 20 skirms in the queue. I think he only has 2 ranges though, maybe 3 in total right now.
I mean, if the Karambits can get the positioning, they might be able to kill quite a few of those hand cannons. The hand cannons are not cheap. Hera's going to dive through here. Into the gunpowder he goes. The monks behind will go for conversions. They may get one. It was 60 Karambits when the fight started. It's quickly become 25. It's quickly become 10-0.
Completely stomped him there with the castle behind. The ground attacks before that were started as well. And yeah, there were no conversions. There were only kills.
Yeah. And Hera is just hoping he could convert a Hoofnita there, snipe some of these trebs to keep this castle up. Yo knows it's going to take some time. He dives. He snipes the bomber cannon from Hera. Hera's castle goes down. Hera's population is still pretty insane, but even that's going to be a problem now because he needs houses.
So he needs to make sure to still stay patient, right?
Left side.
So many things are going right for him. He's moving out with a lot of villagers here. Is he right-clicking the castle?
Sappers. Yo says,
What?
I need more pop space. Guys, don't delete your villagers, okay? Do some damage with them before they die. Yo's going for sappers. Hera will not have murder holes, so that castle will take some pretty decent damage. I think the villagers will die to Karambit warriors, but just crazy, crazy stuff here. Here's Hera's point of view as he tries to survive. There's the skirmisher queue at the top left.
Crazy.
So finally, he's good to go there.
Monastery there, kind of exposed now, trying to dive in against the Nietzsche. Nice move.
Yeah, but I think those cannons can't back away, so maybe some of them will end up going down. Karambit's completely disappeared, though.
28 idle villagers.
Yeah, 28 idols, 6 on gold for Hera. He's nowhere to run, really.
But he keeps trading off, like, food units now against all the gold units.
I really think, like, hand cannons in the back, always here, always.
Yeah.
The hand cannons are only helpful when Karambits come in. Skirms on the front, hand cannons on the back. He never loses these fights, but you cannot have your gunpowder on the front right now.
Maybe some repair could be an option. Send some more villagers to the front. Look at the resources of Mr. Yo. And he goes for Hussite reforms. Now, everything he uses in his monasteries, that's tax and monks, cost food instead of gold.
Yeah, he's in a really good spot. Again, my main worry for Yo would be the hand cannons. But this is the positioning you want, right? Because the Karambit warriors will get in close, and then the hand cannons, as long as they follow up behind, will kill them off.
How much damage do you think the castle took?
I'm actually very curious. I think 1,000. Okay, 1,200.
Was it worth it that 20 villagers died for that?
Well, he's up to 80 pop now. So he actually really he noticed he had a big queue. Like, that wasn't him trolling. I think more people need to do that. Even if you just send vills you want to die into the opponent's eco, they're going to be confused. They're going to focus on it. I think Hera
Relics and Garrison
is going to struggle here against this composition. Yo maybe made the mistake before to have his hand cannons in the wrong position. He's not making the mistake now. Hera will not get those relics back.
Tries to shift click, gets typed down there. The relic gets actually home. Would love to see the kill count on those 3 bombard cannons. They're diving in deep. 42 kills on those 3.
By the way, let's not forget the king is there. The king is not too far away in that tower. I still feel like once Hera loses a bit more ground, this is over. His eco should be right behind all of this, but he's done an incredible job getting his population up and getting the skirm production. Like, he went from no skirms to endless skirmishers.
Yeah, nice production there for sure. 46 now on the field. On the other side, 51 in the queue. Mass skirmishes here, and no player really feels like they need to tech switch.
Is that the monastery he put the relics in, by the way? Like, right beyond this?
Oh, no.
Yes, it is. So not the safest spot for those relics. Yo tries to heist one. Castle about to fall here for Hera. Will we see him finally lose a game? The castle's definitely going down. There's nothing Hera can do about that. And Yo patiently camping those relics, patiently creeping in. Skirmishers on the front, and hand cannons to the backside here.
It's the big kill there. Maybe more shots there. Doof needs a bit too far to the front, trying to save themselves. Get more big shots in the back.
Yeah, and Hera can't make as many monks, right? He can't make as many monks. I think he sold some resources to make monks just to claim the relics. He won't have the gold income for that. Hand cannons do need to do their jobs there against the Karambit warriors, and they will. And Hera's pop still 170. Don't ask me how, but Yo slowly, patiently pushing him back.
Impressive. Still 50 more skirms in the queue. It's going for some more Karambits. Now has a bombard cannon on the field again, but that's again the exposed monastery here at the front, and the king is getting close to the army.
I think Hera should send the king into the army instead of GGing. I think that's the honorable thing to do. Right? If you don't resign, he's done this much.
He clickety-clicked the whole start to save the king, and now you think he should just sacrifice him?
I mean, go down fighting like a man, king. Come on, don't tap out. I mean, I would definitely not do that in Hera's position because then people would make jokes, and I imagine Hera doesn't want that.
Oh, I think he knows. He's going down. That's the tower.
You could also use the king as bait again.
He's going for it. He's going for it.
Hey,
the king
gonna let him get it? There
He's
goes
there.
the king. It's running. It's a coward. It's running.
Skirms are coming, trying to chase us one-on-one. Karambit, a converted Karambit
Oh,
on the
that would
chase.
be sick.
Skirmishes.
Hera's
trying to build a castle.
Hera still thinks he's got a chance here. This is absolutely crazy. Hera's still fighting. Yo has 3 of the relics.
Hera's leading in population.
Yeah, he is. Yoa's a little distracted by that king. And Hera will be in the back corner of the map. He's still on 50 on food, even though he's lost the majority of his farming eco. He's just simply relocated it. But I think Yo will feel like everything's fine as long as he focuses on those relics. I like how Yo isn't trying to do something too extreme most of the time, you know?
Yeah.
Hera's not going to be easy to kill, so take your time here. Do need to be very careful, though. Hand cannons are getting picked off. Karambits will become very strong now. Then the Hoofnitsa could be in jeopardy. And Yo backs away.
Now goes for Atonement, can convert some monks of the opponent there. Remember, Yo, every single monk tech and the monks are all only food, so he's happy with queuing up 16 monks.
Is this where, like, 5 Hussite wagons could actually have a big effect?
Oh yeah, just a single one, right?
Yep.
They can block shots of the opponent and you simply will take less damage.
I think Yo took those farms that Vodka just showed us on the side. Hera didn't notice. Yep. I mean, monks aren't really a great unit to have against Karambits and Skirms, in my opinion. They're great against bombard cannons. That's a crazy shot.
I need the kill count on the Hoofnitsa again. A massive shot again, and those 3 alone. Oh, more than 60
Hera
kills.
just bought himself time to get those relics. We might be in for a long one here.
Really?
Yeah.
What a nice snag by him.
He should get 2 now.
Oh.
There's 1.
He's ready.
He just keeps moving it back 10 tiles.
But only moves them back 5
Move
tiles.
him in the back corner.
Oh god.
Okay, so what would you say Hera gives himself his chances right now? If you would to guess.
He's moving to the left-hand side. He's sending some army around. He still wants to play. I would think he knows that he's really far behind. He sees that the trades aren't great.
There's a gold there?
Maybe 10, 15%.
No way there's a gold there. That's crazy there's a gold there.
I think it's criminal that Yo did not use his king to scout in Dark Age. Right? He only scouted like 8% of the map.
Well, he does that because he has a history of losing his king, right? It all comes back to haunt him there. I think Hera was seeing that golden stone. His chances go up very high in his mind.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to make the argument that maybe you want to tire out your opponent. You've shown to have more stamina. And you want to remind him you're not going to kill me as easily as I killed you in the first game. But, I mean, we got some stables here. I mean, Malay Lightcav are not necessarily the most popular, but he's certainly got the food for it. And, yeah.
Elephant switching. Thinking, okay, now I get 2,400 gold. I still have 2 relics.
Do Malay get guilds?
I would say no.
Okay, I mean, if you sell all the food you have currently, you get a decent amount of gold, but still not enough to make that many elephants. Dude, this pisses me off. Why is that monastery there? This is like the 3rd or 4th time, man.
Malay do get guilds. Maybe we can click on a market and see the prices, but I would be surprised if the prices are super good.
Yeah.
Oh, the relic not dropped. And yeah, prices with guilds at
Hera,
the bottom, yeah.
I mean, if it's a really messy situation, Hera could use Karambits and run into Yo's bait. Does Yo feel like he's about to get king sniped? I think he saw that.
He's moving the king.
Yeah, he saw those Karambits and thought, that's really heads-up play, actually.
Yeah.
Because the Karambits didn't even get into his eco yet.
Yeah, maybe one of the options to lose this game, right? He knows, okay, that's going to be the big loss if I took that one. Now the big fight. Hera is going for it again.
Hera only has skirmishers here. Those 3 cannons are still going to be incredibly strong. Hera has to do his best to out-micro those cannons, but he doesn't have an answer to the castle that is holding his king. And right beyond it, the only relic that he has, Hera will probably be able to get another castle at some point because of that stone he's found. He's also going to find gold, so maybe we could see some elephants. But he has no answer, not a single answer to those trebuchets firing.
Absolutely crazy. Now more villagers there for the repair as well. Those monks All the skirms are full HP at all times. Look at that. The monks are even idle during the battle.
Hera is looking for that king right now in that eco.
He
is definitely looking for that king. He's hoping that Yo will not look off of screen, but Yo has already saved his king inside of that castle. We have Light Cav on the front. Yo put his skirms on stand ground, so he doesn't even have them on attack stands at the moment. They'll only hit what they range. Hera's king! Hera's king is in the north.
At the top! Tristan, hold my hand!
Can I stop holding your hand now?
No. A bit more squeeze, please.
The king from Hera, flirting with danger, will leave, and he's going to build another castle in the back, refuses to quit. And Yo's got to be thinking, like, what more can I do to win this game right now?
But on stand ground, those skirms could die.
Yeah, it's really bad to have them on stand ground. And Hera's holding.
Some more conversions against this. Now Light Cap tech from Bohemian. What are we witnessing?
So Bohemian
Hera's
Light Cav,
pop limit Yo at 170.
yeah, I mean, Bohemian Light Cav are superior. So there is that.
Let's phrase it like less bad. Like superior sounds something good.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, it's less bad. The upgrades are coming in. I think that Yo can't believe he didn't win this game already.
Yeah.
I think that he was expecting
to
a tap out. This is an amazing fight from Hera. He's the big favorite in this set. He could have tapped, but he just continues to fight here. And this would affect my mentality, win or lose long term here if I'm Mr. Yo. Crazy shots with the cannons.
134 on those 3 hero cannons. Do they survive? One of those friends die.
Wow. Hera, I wonder if he sees that many monasteries and knows that Yo can just make them forever. But that's like 2,000 gold right there.
Yeah.
Hera should genuinely go elephants with 2,000 gold.
I think that could have been an option to make the push happen there, but maybe he felt, okay, I can't afford all the siege that I would need for the kill, so maybe we played the long run, and I just tried to swarm you with karambits.
Okay, let's forget that this is Regicide Fortress for a moment, and just think about late game scenario things you want. You want castles and corners, and you want TC count, and you want eco count. I'm not seeing castles in great positions for Yo long term. That northern area is actually very vulnerable to raids. He is building up some buildings there. Hera has a castle in the north. He doesn't have a castle in the south, but he's defending the south right now.
I thought I was a hype caster saying like, oh yeah, Hera's sitting at 10 to 15% win rate, and I felt like, yeah, the game is already over. But look at this. He's pushing this back.
Yeah, he is.
This is criminal.
He has out-skirmed Yo, essentially. But I think Yo has to stop making monks. The monks haven't done anything for him, really. You're converting skirmishers. How much? It's 100 food?
Yeah.
100 food? No, just like Light Cav is going to be the better play. I think Yo will stop making them, and I think Yo's situation is going to be looking a little bit better here, especially with Blast Furnace coming in now. That will, maybe we'll start to see a bit of a difference between the Light Cav, because the Bohemian Light Cav do have more armor.
Skirmisher numbers are pretty high on both sides. With 50 versus 40.
I think
with the other skirms.
I think if the Light Cav are this weak, and here comes Yo for this castle, if the Light Cav are this weak, is there even an argument to never make pikemen and just go for 80 skirms?
I think well, the thing is, yeah, but your pikemen are so good with Bohemians, right?
Okay.
So you kind of just want to use your bonus.
Okay. Well, here's another thing we haven't talked about bonus-wise. Hera needs a castle to get his unique tech to make food-only two-handed swordsman.
Wow. True. That's 1,000 food, 600 gold to tech, I believe.
I think he's saving it. Does he have another castle?
He does.
Okay, he does.
That would be a crazy tech. And then all of a sudden, two-handed swordman.
Yeah, if we get to the stage of the game where you don't have gold and Yo doesn't have gold, or a lot of it, Hera can win with that. He has crop rotation. Like, I think I'm starting to like Hera's position right now with that in mind. Surely Hera's going to get the tech.
He should.
He should.
That would be so crazy.
Yeah, the pikemen just are complete liability, wandering around after those Light Cav, and Hera just seems to be so confident right now.
They push at the bottom, right? Quick question. Where's the next wood line for Mr. Yo? He still has 3 at the... Yeah, he has way too much.
But it's all through the middle. It's all through the middle. And there's stuff on the right, I guess.
Yo's fine. I thought like Hera maybe, but yeah, he has so much in the left side corner.
Woo! All right, well, settle in, folks. This is going to be a long one. Hera refuses to die. The Light Cav seem to be completely fine with death. Or at least they should expect it at this point.
What a roller coaster of emotions this game is for me.
Yeah.
At one point I thought this could be like a 15-minute win for Hera with the early in timing.
Yeah, right. Well, it's funny. We said if Hera doesn't win an early imp, it's probably GG. But then we forgot about the super late post imp.
Yeah.
Which we normally don't really mention. We don't really factor in games where gold is completely gone. Oh, man, Yo found that. He's going to be really happy that he found that. Annoyed with himself, possibly. And he's been fighting back. He's been stabilizing with Pop. He's getting howled now. He's got 52 on food himself. And I think just the difference in the light cap is going to make such a big difference. Where's the tech from Hera? Where's two-handed swordsman?
Maybe he feels like he can't afford it. Maybe he feels like, okay, you can't so easily go for hand cannoneers, but that would be a big gold investment. I think two-handed swordman Sturm is the better tech.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, it's stronger than anything Yo's making at the moment. Now, if Yo gets gold and mixes in hand cannons, it gets a little bit trickier, but you do have skirmishers for that. I think something like when I cast Hera, I'm oftentimes waiting for a tech switch, and he doesn't like to tech switch as early as most people do.
Yeah.
He likes to ensure that his Q with his current build-up is like super strong before he ever considers a tech switch. Because sometimes when you tech switch, you drop 8 barracks, you get the tech, your resources just run dry on you.
And actually, a fun fact that most people wouldn't believe, the weakest time for Hera in the game is actually the late game.
Yeah.
If you split it up in like sub 20 minute, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, and plus 60 minutes, his weakest win rate is in the hyper long game.
I bet you if you look at Yo's, the longer the game goes, the better it is as well.
Potentially.
Honestly, I think that's probably, I'm pretty certain that would be the case if you check his matches. Now, Malay, probably better than Bohemians in the late stages if you were to check the Civ stats. So that's another check in the category here for Hera.
Oh, that one pop 60, 160 pop. They're struggling.
Yeah, and then like the TCs. Hera has 2 TCs? Is that it? I think just 2 town centers to make more vills.
Those two at the side. Oh,
Yo is
super exposed at the bottom then, no?
Yo is 4 TCs, but Yo's TCs are super far from anywhere he's going to send the vills.
Yeah, he's 120 villagers, right? So TC's not really needed right now.
Yeah, he's actually not producing at all. Hera always has more on the way. Well, Yo has that gold right now. They're just having minor scuffles over this gold. And I just feel like Hera's going to go for one big play to push this back. If he can get a snowball fight, he's going to unleash the Trebs that are sitting in his castle. But there's so much exposed eco. Yo has had some time here. Hera hasn't been able to push, and Hera's Vil count plummeting. It was at 120 before, maybe 130. It's down to 107. It's soon going to be at 105, and villagers there. Yo seeing that.
So many exposed areas, yeah.
Yeah, Yo seeing that means we'll see a new army there soon, I'm sure.
Also, he found the monastery, right? I think he's going for it with another Hufnitze here, and that could be 0 against 3 relics pretty soon.
And I don't think Hera's going to easily be able to reclaim the relics.
How? He's super far away, and that's so many idle farmers now. But
Also,
Hera, how is Hera still having 60 on food?
So where are they? I think a lot of them are right here, right there. And they're not protected really by anything.
Just some town centers there, but that's mainly for more villager production.
Hera will never be able to get the unique tech unless he gets those relics again. I just don't think his resources are there now. It's like 1,000 food, 600 gold or something?
I looked it up, 850 food, 500 gold.
Yeah, same difference.
But too costly. Too costly.
Yeah. And then, of course, you still have the tech all the way up to two-handed swordsman.
But he built 6 traps. He had the gold at one point.
Yeah, he did.
What is the plan with 6 traps? It has to be... Ooh.
King snipe.
Is the plan King Snipe?
How much is treason? 400 gold?
400 gold, exactly.
I guess you don't want to do that here because
he sees the trap. He instantly sees the traps. This is so good for Mr. Yo. This is the all-in attack that Hera was saving for.
Yeah.
Instantly stopped.
I would love to see Yo's point of view right now because if I were him and I think I'm about to close out this game, I'm going to be triple checking my king position throughout the game. I think his point of view would actually be incredible.
Outposts. Send some friends. Build 4 towers around it. Put a flag on there.
Apparently, we can't get Yo's POV at the moment, but Hera's going to come through here. We got raids coming in, and I guarantee you Yo is going to pay very close attention to that. This is crazy. Hera doesn't have the relics. Hera still refuses to die. Toughest player to kill in the game. He's still got a decent unit queue.
Okay, let us take a look at Yo's main base. After a big shot here behind this one. Halberdiers, they are really good at clearing this up.
Hera's looking for the king. I want to see his fog of war. He doesn't know the castle's there. He's looking for the king. He does not know about that, or maybe he does. Maybe he's hoping that it's in a tower. I think the crowd just laughed at me. But Hera's pop is dropping.
He's trying to find something, moves around. He's okay, more skirmishers dying. He's moving in with the trap. That's his one mission. He needs to make something happen.
That was the distraction right there. But he gets to move him back again. He can't make the move. He can't get there. And his population is so bad right now. 86 villagers.
Nothing in the queue. No wills in the queue.
Yeah, this might not be enough here. Yo's got a crazy queue. I think Yo maybe he's held this.
It's scary though. More blue units at the right-hand side as well. That's only halberdiers against skirmishers. That won't be enough. And Hera, he's sending in again. That's how he came back against Tado.
Yeah. Like Cav, they're going to find positions here.
Against the farm.
I would like to see Yo be building TCs on these wood lines. TCs on the wood lines, it's easier to get new builds on wood, and then it's a good space to hide your villagers.
Is this the move? The traps to the left-hand side? Yeah, they're a bit more safe there. But it just feels like Hera... No, he wants to play the late game.
If Yo makes 10 Hussite wagons, Hera has big difficulties.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And he's got 1,000 gold. Like, I honestly think Hussite wagons may be more valuable than bomber cannons at this point. Because if you don't have the army to protect the bomber cannons still die to all this. So you really just need a better core army. He could also consider champion, but the 5 on gold is about to disappear, so...
I think this could even be the spot where Hera does not want to build too many villagers because he needs a strong fighting army, like 120 military, and make one crazy push with the 6 traps.
How about you bring your vills from the left corner to Vill rush
Yo
in the north.
And
you just you like just do something ridiculous to distract Yo so you can somehow push forward.
Okay.
Start doing jumping jacks on stage. Hope he looks over and boom, king snipe.
Okay.
Is that allowed?
Pushes those around here, but Yo, I think he should be spamming outposts, honestly, and not to disrespect, but just to always, and he does. Something similar.
No one gets town patrol.
So clever, so clever.
And we can actually see his fog of war change if we want to, just to see the difference between the vision he's going to get. There's like an exposed area, and then look at that. So much more vision around the map now for Yo. He's got pretty much a straight line of vision if you look at that mini-map, so he shouldn't be able to be surprised too easily.
There's some dark area in the middle, though, and that's exactly where blue dots are moving. I'm a bit scared there. This does not have a lot of vision. Just no, not. I'm getting nervous again.
This would be great. I mean, you don't need to have any population but one if you're Hera. You just need your king alive and your opponent's king dead. Yo is teching Cavalier.
King is moving.
He should see this.
Garrisoning.
The king is on the move.
That's why we called this tournament.
There is another army swooping in from the other side.
No way.
If this actually happens, I will lose my mind. There's no way. There is no way. There is no way it's going to die. It's going to die because it got hit, and it will not pack to the tower. Hera does it. That was absolutely unbelievable. The Trebs were a setup. The Trebs were a setup, Nilly. And the king, when a king is told to garrison somewhere, the second it is hit by anything, it will stop. We've seen that before. That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable.
I'm in absolute disbelief.
And how many times do we see people never try and make a move for a king in regicide, even when it gets bad?
That's so good for Hera.
That's one of the greatest moves ever, right there.
Whoa, that's the difference. Some people doing esports, Hera being esports.
That was well played. Yeah, I mean, Neil was looking at Nilly speechless before that great joke.
That was sick. That was so good. Like, he saw it as well. And he, like, forced the reaction, right?
Yep.
It was, like...
Yeah, he forced the reaction.
It's, like, how can you be all in and think about the side attack at the same time?
Yep.
Just thinking ahead and block.
And there was a great deal of patience involved in that, because there were many instances where he would try and move forward. It just kept waiting. I gotta say, from Yo's perspective, man, that hurts, dude. that's so painful. Like, how are you supposed to play? That was a game he should have won.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and honestly, I don't even think I get the fear, and I get playing it safe to click back. Mm-hmm. I don't think his castle goes down there. I think he's got enough army rallied. Maybe it's close.
6 traps are a lot.
But can we maybe go to a TC?
It doesn't have to go down. It has only to go to 25%.
Yeah, true.
And the king already
I think it was
out.
Also pretty weak, or at least had lost some HP.
Mm-hmm. Maybe before that.
It's crazy because the right play is to pay attention to move the king. And he told it to go to the tower, thought it would continue to go.
The one hit, that's the big difference.
Yeah.
Like, body blocking wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Because at one point the king with the faster movement speed just jumps in anyways.
I mean,
and yeah, people are just clapping.
Dude, I mean, I've seen some I've seen some incredible things. That's up there for me.
And look at Hera's reaction.
Yeah.
He knows what's up.
That was sick. I would even love to see the POV, honestly, just to see the back and forth there and the thinking on it.
Yeah.
Like, cause the slow-mo as well. I mean, that's
and you see
crazy.
the main screen in the background, right? If he turned around, he could see, like, I'm attacking the king right now.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
So sweet.
So,
And also, I love to see how much this means to him.
yeah, absolutely. That was sick. And the fight was unbelievable. I mean, I thought he was so dead. So dead.
Yeah.
So dead.
I think he was down to pop 120 against 200 in this spot, plus on the verge of like losing way more army at this time.
Yeah. And this should be a crazy game. I expect Yo to get crazy. Hera, he's going to want this win because that previous game is one of the greatest wins ever.
Yeah.
And to not end that with a series win would probably hurt. Just crazy. He's still undefeated right now. Talk to me about what we're seeing from Yo, though.
We are seeing something wild. We can choose our positioning for the town center, and both went for a civilization where it makes a lot of sense to actually rush with 2 militia in early Dark Age here, and they're trying to deny the food of the opponent.
But Hera is going to make a... Well, they're both going to make 2. You expect this from the Goths. Persians, I have never seen this against the Goths before. Typically, it's against civilizations that can't go for this.
Hera's not sending them forward. Hera tries to defend against the 2 militia, it feels like.
Well, I mean, when I saw Goths on the draft, I immediately knew it was going to be this from Yo. So it is somewhat telegraphed in that respect. So maybe if he feels like his economy's better, maybe if he feels like he's better, he just needs to defend from the craziness here.
And yeah, look at that. What a counter pick. What a counter strategy. He just sent 2 militia into his own wood line.
Just to protect the wood, because otherwise you might not take the wood line there.
That's so weird.
Now,
Yo will see it.
I think Yo saw the barracks.
Can?
He missed the barracks, excuse me.
He's going for... This is fine for Mr. Yo. Right now, Hera didn't do much against this.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know where they are. He's expecting them to come to his wood line. He is still losing some hunt. He is still bringing in the elephants.
This is far away hunt though, right? So it's not the biggest loss for Hera. He's still getting the elephants.
And now Yo's going to be like, what? What is this? This is weird. But you know what I think? I think, okay, so you're not fishing with Persians? Fine by me.
Oh, big fight, big fight. I think this will be a fair trade-off. It's the first hit-off. Oh no. Hera wins this.
It's actually kind of a big deal because the militia can kill all the zebras if it survives, right?
Unanswered. I think Yo actually wants to build another militia here.
That's really frustrating. Or you'd have to chase it with a Vil. Hera can run out across the map. There are no wild animals beyond the huntables. And so there won't be a wolf that would kill that.
Yo goes for another militia. Makes lots of sense.
That's smart. It's cheap. You don't need to mine more gold for it here with the Goths. That's fine. Do you think Hera still goes for a dock? Again, he delayed that. That's your typical opening with Persians.
7 on wood, kind of indicating that, right? Typically, if you want to get fast feudal age, you might send 4 or 5, but here the villager's already out.
Okay. I think he also has a mill going up in the back on the hunt. I could be wrong.
Ooh.
Okay, so this will be feudal age into a dock, and now Yo also going to head out there to the coast.
Perfectly scouted by Hera. So aware, so on point with everything.
Yeah, seriously. He's always in position. This militia has already done his job and just passing. Yo, it's kind of important Yo notices that. And I think maybe Hera noticed that militia and is chasing it down. I can't quite tell, but he's brought in a lot of elephants here.
How are you chasing the militia down?
With confidence. If you see him running at you, you look at him, you think he's small, you think he's weak, but if he runs at you like that, you're probably not going to fight him.
Like Dave.
I was literally just going to say that. Oh, man. Yeah, that's why I would never fight Dave. He does not look intimidating, but that's exactly why he is intimidating. I think I heard Dave yell from the break room.
Oh, that was uncalled for.
Goats are on the way back to the TC, so the camel does steal that. But I am, again, curious on why Yo didn't chase that down. And if he knows Hera has a dock here, I think he's just about to find out.
Could wall in the villager, try to go for the trap, but Hera already aware. And he walls back, and he gets the first hit!
And the villager can't move out. Villager can't move out. There's nothing the villager can do! And Yo says, I live here now. And he didn't want to get trapped, so he has to leave. That was really well played from Yo.
And now the camel is coming in there. Maybe the militia could have come.
Hera, it's not really much he can do about that. The camel's definitely going to free up some space for that villager, and Yo saves the villager, dude. That was well played from both.
Yeah, and Yo, he really shows off. Typically, we don't see plays like those because of the high ping from China, right?
Yep.
And the show's beautiful.
Yeah, typically Yo doesn't really even try that. And again, it's just because it's high ping and here we're at LAN. I think this whole tournament, Yo has looked so much sharper than I'm used to, at least certainly the early stages. He looks really comfortable, and he's adding more militia.
Will be man-at-arm play. 4 man-at-arms. And Hera, he's not going for anything.
No.
That could be. And a sneaky villager. Nice quick wall.
Yep, there's the quick gate. And obviously this is half speed. And the villager just gets that palisade wall down. That was really well played. But yeah, villager here from Yo. I would love to see Hera scouting right now because he's done so well with his scouting this whole game. I wonder what he's looking for at the moment.
His camel is at the bottom of the lake there, I believe. Yeah, exactly. He is still expecting
that Vil to be somewhere. And the Vil's in the middle. Or, yeah, building the archery range.
Did Hera get too much? Looks like it, right? He has a lot of vision there. Yeah, he knows, like, okay, something has to be happening. Yeah. Now he sees the man-at-arms, tries to quick wall against it.
It's not going to be possible to house wall all the way back to the TC here. He's going to have to be very creative. All the man-at-arms aren't here at the moment, but this is awkward for Hera. And, you know, sometimes people hesitate. I honestly think even if Hera has the potential to kill these, you just got to go for the kills here. Get a grouping with all your man-at-arms, though. Get a grouping with all your man-at-arms. Hera's feeling it right now. He's feeling so confident after that crazy game number 2. And Yo just can't get his army together right now.
4 man-at-arms together so much better than 2 man-at-arms twice.
Hera sees the others coming in. Hera will go for a tower. The block there from Yo kills one villager. There's more exposed. This could be another villager kill. There's the skirmisher follow-up. Hera shouldn't be able to save that one. Another villager down. Still 2 man-at-arms here, but they're pretty weak. And in the end, it will settle a little bit with Hera's tower. He also has some nice walls going up on the left side. But Mr. Yo of old just drops a tower behind the woodline now.
I think so as well. And look at that, exactly his plan. And those men-at-arms could maybe quickly attack those palisades there. Oh,
that's so smart. The only thing that I don't like about that tower is I don't see the army next to the Vil. So that's my concern. And he actually moves the tower up there. And that denies the stone as well. That's really nice.
And kind of denies the next woodline higher a bit, right? Yep. So gives him more control. Skirmishers a bit off position. Archers trying to be annoying from the top, doing some damage against the camp.
Look at Yo's resources right now.
Wow! How?
I mean, Goth hunt lasts longer. There's a lot of hunt on the map. And he's had a masterclass balance behind this. It's kind of unbelievable. Persians is seen as the best civ on the map. And after that start...
Uh-oh, villagers are coming in.
This is smart from Hera. There's not enough from Yo to fight that. Skirmishers don't do enough damage. The man-at-arms are weak. That villager could die, though. And villager does die.
Third villager down. And behind this, you think, okay, well, Hera is still fine because he has the water. He only has 2 fishing ships, and those are long distance. Like, fully idle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not much. There's not much Hera can do to really pay attention to all that at the moment.
Oh, and now the sneaky dog. Mr. Yo's playing everything. And knowing Mr. Yo, what is he doing now? Is it double stable knights?
It's definitely a stable.
It feels like Mr. Yo is going wild.
It's definitely stable, right? I mean, okay, it could be an archer range maybe. People like their cav archers, but you would need so much time. The concern I have for Yo, and this could be highly unfortunate, after having to delete that tower, he only has 118 stone. He cannot build a defensive tower, and he's very exposed. Hera is walling. There's other reasons why Hera was late to the castle age here. And like, Yo gets hit once with those archers. He fails to track them, and this could be horrible.
He's tracking them in the middle, those skirmishers, but the scout is around as well. Needs to try to take out those archers. This is really good for Hera.
Yeah, and this is a scout edition from a stable. This is not the starting scout. They started with the camel, right? And I don't think Yo even noticed that. It didn't see much micro there at all from Yo to try and snipe some archers.
Tricky. Let's see. Is he adding in the second stable? Could be he's building a second one. That's the blacksmith, maybe? No, he already has
Hera needs
second stable.
The second Hera sees Yo's in Castle Age, he needs to full wall fast. Like wall to that TC or to the barracks, wall around the TC to the edge. Like his eco is going to be much better in my opinion if he stabilizes and doesn't take losses. But, like, yeah, he needs to stop those knights going forward, and he just doesn't have the knowledge. He probably has no clue. Yo doesn't have any clue the archers are there, though.
The scout was more tasked to clear up the skirmishers earlier. So Yo now gets the notice, okay, army's coming this way. Doesn't really want to take this fight. Knights are coming in. Should be maybe able to clear up all the archers after losing one build.
No armor. No armor is a big deal. That knight can definitely go down if it does not have armor. Hera will recognize that. We know Hera's going to micro that. And yeah, only one archer goes down. This is not a good trade if you trade one archer for a knight. He could try again. There's some weak archers in the group. He'll hope to hit them and save the weak knight. That's well played from Yo.
And builds a monastery could be the next step there, trying to get some of the relics, heal up the knight. And oh, that's a nice raid, and that's why you wanted to see the walls.
Yeah, Hera might need a small wall. Great job from Yo there. And that's crazy. I wasn't expecting those knights to be there just yet. It felt like he was really focusing on the defense, but he chose just the perfect amount to defend and also got the pressure on the front.
Yeah, it felt like one to the back, one to the front was his approach.
I mean, I know Hera's up 2-0. I know he hasn't lost a game yet this tournament, but I just got to say, Yo's playing incredible. Probably should have won the previous game, had a great opening here. He's in Castle Age, dropping the second TC now. Hera's still 30 seconds away. This is an amazing series. And I guess we said the same when Tato played up against Hera. It's like these games have been really, really close at times, but he just can't be killed.
But in the end, it is 8-0 in maps in this tournament so far.
Yep. Nice demo. Really nice demo. If Yo can just shift his fire over, he'll get the kill on the fishing ships as well. He's not realizing.
Perfect.
The fishing ship.
Gets one. Second one. He was ready for the block.
And
oh, that's so good by Hera. Hallelujah.
So yeah, that's so good. What did Yo say? He's really fast. He can basically do everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Now monastery for Hera tries to deal with the knights that way.
Spearman help a little bit. And Hera has his own knight there, has a second knight on the way as well. You would expect that Hera's going to back away. Oh, the unit froze. And there's a slight chance Yo can save that. We'll see.
There's a unit coming from the top. Don't tell me he's blocking with the camel. With the knight there. That's a scout. Scouts are faster than knights.
Kill it. Take the kill.
Boink.
There you go.
Oh, that's so perfect.
Hera feeling so much confidence at the moment. And he will eventually get the
wow.
kill there.
Oh,
Tiny
wow.
little quick walls. Saves the villager there. There's another villager. That villager can hop into the tower. That vill will be fine. And so Hera pushes most of these attacks away. Now, long term, which civilization do you prefer here?
How long term?
Let's say early imp.
Persians.
Okay, mid imp.
Persians.
Late imp.
Goth.
Okay, thank you. I was gonna say there's a lot of low elo players who are about to be really confused if you didn't say Goths there. I mean, Persian eco is probably the big reason behind that. But the issue I find for Persians is they're very one-sided. It's typically like anything on a horse. And so pikemen, huskarls, all those things could come in the future for the Goths. And things can get really dangerous there, especially on such a crazy map, right? It's so easy to just get random huskarls into these areas.
And Yo's so good at playing long castle age, right? And that's why I love Goth so much. I think there might be the best civ to actually justify a massive castle age on it.
Yep, get the castle up, research anarchy, and then just spam the huskarls and the pikes if you need them from your barracks. But Persians do have hand cannons, and so Hera will eventually know that hand cannon's the key here, I feel. I also think that just structure to your base and walls is so important. Hera's already kind of done that to funnel any attacks through. Yo's adding some of his own walls now as well, but Goths can't stonewall like Persians can.
The area of Hera, relatively small though. Yeah, he has 2 gold spots in there, but we will have to fight for more. Let's take a look at the conversion here.
Should be a conversion if you ask me.
Wow,
that's really unfortunate for Yo. And maybe this one will be a conversion, but Hera runs away.
No body blocking. Now he goes back.
He's doing that because he knows that he's faster than Yo, and it's going to be a pain for Yo to have to drop the relic.
Yeah, he probably clicked like 3 villages, queued up some other stuff, built some houses, replaced some farms while they
Like, that annoyed me. As a player who's maybe a little slower than Yo, that little action right there was actually so dirty.
But yeah, talking, as you said, we don't have stone walls here as Goth. So it will be really tricky to really fortify this area. And that's why Yo is putting villagers on stone walls to get that castle up and secure that area.
Yeah, what a fun series, man. What a fun series. This has been super special. Love the diversity and strategy we've seen. Love the fight from both. Obviously, game 1, I guess, was pretty quick, but this has been really fun. And I want to see more games, but that will not happen if Hera has his way. Hera goes for conversion, and Hera will not get the conversion there, so Yo gets some luck back on his side. And nice micro there from Yo, nice micro from Hera. They're pulling back the weak ones. And eventually, they're all going to have to go back. That's sick from both.
How good are those two?
Like, how did they not misclick one of the knights, you know?
Yeah. I always pull back the full HP one.
Yeah.
Then my other one dies. Then I get confused and the full HP one gets converted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then that's enough to snowball the game, and then, you know, game's over.
Yeah. And then I go into balanced Discord and complain about monks.
Oh, come on now, don't. Never mind. I was about to name some players. I refuse to imply that anyone would be like that. I like the house walls from Yo.
Yeah.
And I am a little bit surprised to see he doesn't have more on stone.
Yeah.
Because
true.
I thought, to your point, that he would want the castle right around now. Normally, in my mind, and I don't know if this is like accurate to any builds or flow of the game at all, 75 vills. You want 3 or 4 T seats, that's when you want your castle starting to go up, because that's when you can justify vill production and anarchy and the Huskarls.
Oh, that's big. I think that's too many monks here. Yo, that's a very risky move.
I mean, he needs a risk. He needs a risk, and he will lose his monks. Hera will lose his monks as well, but Hera has way more knights than Yo does.
Did he need that risk, though? There was nothing really to fight for at this moment. All 5 relics are already being picked up. He's relatively walled at home. Maybe a raid could have been another option.
Husbandry's not in either, so these knights are just going to be chased down. And Hera starting to really pick up here. This is Persian eco, so he should be feeling very comfortable. He's now got knights to fight with, and Yo will add more monks at home, and he's dropping barracks for pikemen.
Hera killed 1 villager so far. At the 35-minute mark, what's the killed villager count?
Wait, what?
How many villagers will Hera kill?
Oh, will Hera kill?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't. I'm going to go with, honestly, I'm going to go with 8.
Only 8? Wow. Goth is super open. They're immobile. They have to chase with their infantry. I think Hera is completely going to own Yo here.
I wanted to make you look smart, Nilly. That's all.
Okay.
It's a hell of a call to say 8 and be right, though.
That would be crazy.
Well, I mean, I'm expecting Yo to maybe drop a castle in front of that TC.
Oh, that would help.
Monks are going to discourage any attacks, and then he's got pikes. And Hera's going to, like, I've seen this from Hera so many times. He's got the lead, and sure, he could have the confidence to keep pushing, forcing the issue, but the only way he loses the game in his mind is if he takes a bad fight.
Okay, true.
So
that's a lot of houses now. Yo, he got a bit more time than I would have expected.
And those light cav are going to kill enough vills to make it 8. No, that's sick from Yo. Oh, gets a conversion as well. Pikemen are ready on the front. Well played, Yo. 2 more villagers than Hera still.
Wow, what a crazy defense.
Yeah. I think he'll lose a knight here, but it's worth it for him to kill that monk. I don't know if he'll get the monk kill. He doesn't get the monk kill. And that's important because Hera will want that to heal up after he takes some damage from the pikes here.
How many pikes are you doing now? Because now you're up to 20 pikes. Is there a difference between 20 or 30 pikes? Is Hera really ever taking an engagement?
Well, I think there's a difference of exactly 10. But in terms of the fights, I think he might have a point that you don't need the 10 more. It looked like he needed the 10 more right there. Yeah. He also didn't have many upgrades. And so Hera's upgrades, he had +2 attack come in right near the tail end of that fight. That in combination with healing.
Oh yeah, the healing will be really good now against all this. And Mr. Yo, it feels like he already wanted to click up to Imperial Age, but had to queue up some more pikemen now. Gets forging.
And Hera is really wanted to go imp, but he didn't have a second building. So that delays things. Fortunately for him, he's Persians. But yeah, like, Knight v Pike, it depends, but it's usually not a fight you want to be taking with the Knights. But if you have like 3 monks with Knights, the fact that you can convert the pikemen, which tank a lot of damage, the fact that you can heal up makes massive differences.
Absolutely. And Yo, look at his resources. And look at the buildings that he needs to build to click up.
Yep.
He actually needs to have the siege workshop.
But he's got a lot of pikes, dude. He's got a lot of pikes. It's so much easier to play right now. Yo's just like, whatever, who cares? Take my pikemen.
Hera's taking this engagement. That's surprising to me.
Well, here we go. It worked before. He had the healing before. He got some conversions before. But I think this fight is really good for Mr. Yo if you consider the cost of the units. Yo could just spam more. And Hera needs to wait for hand cannons. He still needs to wait 2 minutes. And Mr. Yo refuses to die despite how frustrating it must have been to lose game number 2.
And on the way to Imperial Age, and now can be full halberdier. And then, as you said, Persians, they need to switch into either heavy Scorpions, not that great against Huskarls, so hand cannoneer might be the option. But look at the map control.
Yeah.
He's super far back, no control at the top. Mr. Yo might now be the one actually dictating the game pace.
Yep, there's the ranges. So that's hand cannons, 100%. There's no way Hera's going to go archers against this. So Yo hasn't dropped his castle yet. I would love to see that now so we can get Anarchy. And with a little bit of vision, those outposts are going to help. He'll have a really strong idea of what Hera's long-term plan is if he doesn't already have one.
Pikes to the defense here, and Yo, he's not getting pressured. There was one single villager killed in the last 5 minutes.
Also, I'm pretty certain that Yo's forward building should give him vision on the switch.
Yeah.
Hera's tech switching right in front of him. So easy for Hera to forget about. But again, I'm going to say it. I don't want to jinx poor Yo because I'm pretty sure I said this like 3 or 4 times in the previous game. We could see Hera about to lose his first game of the tournament.
Carson now both at the top, and I have to say, I don't like this for Yo.
Well, hold on. I know exactly why you're saying that.
Tell
it's
me.
because you need the castle for like production and whatnot. But if you just get the techs right away,
Yeah.
then you don't really need castles with Goths.
But you could have just built it way defensively. You need Elite Huskar, you need Anarchy.
Yeah, that's a lot of techs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of want conscription as well. So that's like, you need at least like 2.5, 3 minutes of research, and you won't be able to build a trap.
Yeah, the reason he'll do it is because of those golds. And Hera will need a lot of gold to make hand cannons long term. And he will eventually run out where he's at currently. It's about to be 50 pikemen for Yo on the map.
Anarchy first. And look at, I'm pretty sure he already attacked Elite Huskar in the castle behind.
I think it's a pretty good guess.
Bab.
Yep. You don't see that every day. And he's already built some barracks on the side as well.
Did he just trap all the pikemen here?
Pikeman trap. Pikeman trap. Those pikes, well, nothing's killing them. So that's just a temporary stay. They're just in jail. And they'll be out in a week. And look at these barracks, man. Again, you got barracks coming up on the hill now. And Huskarls, the thing about them is they actually kill hand cannons very quickly. Hera's completely fallen apart. He's had to wait so long for hand cannon. He's just now making them. And Yo's at 145 vils. Yo has 4 relics. Yo has a castle on the gold. He's outposting the sides.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
Really nice setup for him. Obviously, will be perfusion now, even faster production. Why is he not? Okay, now he's spamming the Huskarls, and he's getting all the upgrades. The big thing, though, it will be tough for Yo to have full map control, since he can't really wall, and Terra will have more mobility.
This is going to sound crazy, but if Yo gets an opportunity by tossing away an army and making Hera hit and run, I actually want him to just swarm those archer ranges with like 10 Huskarls and drop a castle on them.
Ah,
the
yeah.
second a castle goes up there, Hera can't really hop out, and the whole production's a waste.
Oh yeah, so true. And castles are far away, right?
Yep.
Oh, Huskarls are jumping for the castle, for the trap.
Oh, Hera can't stop that. His gunpowder will come out. That trebuchet goes down. That barracks is going to be so annoying, guys. So annoying. Yo can get up to 210 population with the Goths, by the way. No other civ can do that. And I'm seeing a lot of movement of red on the other side as well.
Look at that mini-map. Maybe we can get a bit of zoom out there. How much stuff is happening in the middle.
There's no wall.
He's swarming.
There's no wall. There's no wall whatsoever. It's still exposed. Mr. Yo just flying. The Huskarls will come in from all angles. Hera only 5 on gold, and look at that castle.
Oh god, that's desperate.
I mean, I know he had an incredible comeback here once before. I don't have faith he can do it again against the Goths.
He was in a worse spot against Tato and he won, but that's a massive spam and that's the power of God. His last pick, Mr. Yo special, after he went for laming, after both players opened to militia, the swarm is starting.
Mr. Yo just keeps coming. This consistency is so insane. Hera's still trying to fight, but his vills are just disappearing. He had like 1 villager lost this game. It's now 35. There's more infantry coming through. And finally, Hera loses a game, and Mr. Yo continues to play like a beast.
Oh man, and he is happy, and he felt like, good that I won this one. I did not want to go to bed after game number 2.
Think about this. If not for a crazy moment from Hera in the second game. This is 2-1 Yo right now.
True.
So don't let that scoreline like psych you out on who's been the better player in the series. I mean, of course,
Yo's happy.
Of course,
Yo's
Hera's
happy.
been the better player so far. I think Yo wants his break.
Yeah.
But Yo's played incredible. It's just been a joy to cast this series because there's been so many unique things. But I want to take it all the way back to Dark Age. Like, Persians typically have that. All right, and he does go for Land Madness. Yo goes for his Magyars. Hera goes for the Mayans, which is not your typical pick. Typically, you're going to see more of a scout civilization, but Hera goes for the Mayans. Now, this tournament's a 9-villager start, and so unlike your standard start where the Mayans would immediately be pop-capped, that does help them a little bit more because they start with 1 extra vill than the opponent, so 10, and they don't have to immediately get Loom and delay a villager. So slightly higher chances for the Mayans compared to a standard tournament.
Yeah, and a villager collects 20 resources per minute, right? So just imagine like him having five minutes of more working time, another 100 food or wood.
Yeah, and I think oftentimes the weakness for the Mayans is they're just later to feudal because due to starting with the extra vill, they have less food in the bank, so that helps them recover from that. Now, when Hera plays Mayans, it's usually all about crossbowmen. It's very rarely do you see him ever even make an eagle. There's 2 differences of approaches. You can go. I've seen 2 different things. So this is going to sound contradictory to what I just said, but Archer Eagle, both at once, and to preemptively make the Eagles against skirms is an option. Or he typically likes to wall a lot and just mass those archers and really make the opponent guess. Because when you're walled, the opponent sometimes isn't really certain how much you're committing to Feudal Age, and you can surprise them.
Sounds like Hera's typical Arabia approach. Land Madness, a bit trickier though, because as we all know, on the stone area, we can't wall. Therefore, small wall's not really an option if you want to protect your woodline at the same time. This could be the dream army composition of Eagle Archer.
Is Yo going to push both of these? Every pro should be doing this, by the way, after the change. It's not very hard. Yeah, you could push in. Well, that one's going a little far. That deer might go back. I would maybe shoot it with the villager on the mill, unless it's going to stand by. And, oh, now we can shoot it.
Shoot once.
Shoot once.
The aggro. And now we can push again.
Yeah.
Good job.
So, you know the map Rocky Forest?
Yes. TTL map.
Yep. So, a player sent me a rec of going to the middle with 1 villager and a scout and, like, herding them almost and pushing in 8 deer at once.
What?
Yeah, because of the way the deer behavior is. You want to know the kicker?
Tell me.
It took so much focus that their TC was idle for 90 seconds.
Okay.
So that's
Thanks for the story, T90.
so you get 8 deer, but you have no bills. But I mean, you got 8 deer.
Arrive at the TC and no builds to shoot the deer.
Anyways, probably scouts here for Yo. So like, what's the thought process though? Because like, anytime I'm playing Magyars, I feel like you've just got to do damage, but it feels like they know you're going scouts every time. It's so predictable.
Yeah, but if you are doing it better, if you're doing it cheaper, if you're doing it stronger, it's not the worst thing. By the way, Hera scouting in completely wrong direction.
Yeah.
So we'll be quite surprised, and that means the scout likely to already be in Feudal Age if they face each other. Actually, both going in the same direction.
Yeah, and we had this happen in game number 1, where one of the players was Feudal Age faster and got a scout kill. If Yo sees that eagle,
that's the question. Can we wall between that area?
Oh, true.
That's what our observer is asking himself. I would say no.
It's so the way I describe this, it's not actually the rocks you can't build on. It's like the little pebbly stone area. Not the full rock.
Kind of the road.
It's the whatever that is.
Old Roman road.
Yeah.
Say.
Yeah. So I guess we've always said rock, and that's a bit confusing. So yeah, I think you probably can't wall across there.
Look at the scouting of Hera. He's still pretty clueless. Now scouts in this direction. Does he continue there? And now Yo has to make a decision. Does he go top or bottom?
And Yo is probably going to move around towards the north now. And Hera will see this. Hera will expect scouts, confirm scouts. And it is Eagle Archer. And, you know,
on gold.
The typical play is to go skirmishers with your scouts. But if there's eagles in the mix, this can get kind of tricky to micro. And I think if it becomes very micro-intensive, usually advantage for Hera.
Yeah, usually for Hera, I think Scout Skirm is a bit easier, right? Because you have the mobility, you can control it a bit more. So it should be a tiny bit easier to control the armies. But we think Hera should be better when it comes to micro.
But I think with this eco setup, it's really hard to get upgrades, right? Because you have so much more on gold, and you have so much less on food. So that's the big thing to keep in mind. Eventually, Hera's going to want upgrades. We'll see if he moves out with those archers at all. Yo sees those eagles, and the scouts will win the 1v1 fight there, and it's 2v2. So get some damage. That's not bad, but I think he backs away because he's concerned there will be a follow-up from
Yo
Hera.
needs to rush the range. I think he just added 2 more farms. Uh-oh, that's a mistake. Oh, that's tricky. This could be the repeat of game 1.
Well, hold on a second, though, because if you go skirms, it says not comfortable. What if you just go double down on scouts with armor real fast? Is that an option?
Then the opponent technically just needs to build spearmen.
Will Hera do it? This build is fully focused on archers and on eagles, so it comes down to if Hera senses that there's no range. Normally that range would be along the front, in my opinion, next to the stable, so he doesn't really have that knowledge right now.
He might be skipping. He might actually be skipping the archer range. Look at that. Even more farms. Maybe take the fight here. Wood is really inefficient.
He's going to have to take the fight because there's fletching on the archers, and he's not going to have wood otherwise. I think Hera will be somewhat comfortable with this if he can kill most of these scouts. Losing this army is fine. He's making a lot more. He'll wedge himself into the edge of the map. The villagers are there helping a little bit. The Magyar scouts have that forging upgrade, and Yo is going to clear the army.
Ooh, and has a lot of scouts still alive. Look at that. 3 really hurt scouts, but if they aren't dying, they still can do damage.
And again, so I forget when this was, Nilly. I forget when this was. I think it was maybe NAC 5 or something. But Hera did this exact build, and it worked against the opponent mixing skirms. And so I think maybe for the first time in a while when he's done this, he's just been up against the big group of scouts there. Maybe he should have backed away. It was only 5, but Spearman now is going to be out
only
in the
one
field.
spearman. And that's tracked. Nice reaction here by Mr. Yo, and that's an easy defense. Kind of surprising that Mr. Yo actually went for the wood line again here. That exposes the builds.
And now there's skirms. Now it's actually perfect, right? Before would have been more awkward, but now with a couple skirms, he may be able to defend there, and he believes so because he'll move forward. I think Hera's walled. It'll look like there's a hole, but there shouldn't be. The gold, though, is exposed if the scouts go there.
Only one archer, no more villagers, and I think with 3 skirms, Mr. Yo could be defending this.
Does Hera see him? He kind of looped the whole way around with those scouts. He looks like he has an idea, but Yo could fight there.
Wedge piece scouts, 2 of them. Just wants to be annoying. 2 villagers maybe on the berries.
And Yo also tracks this very nicely. And the villagers on the berries, one will be sniped. Yo continues with the engagement. We'll get 2 villagers with the scouts.
The other side, skirmishers.
Oh, that was really, that was really rough for Yo. He doesn't have upgrades yet. He needs to keep the skirmishers alive. Hera can easily equalize this with good micro. Fletching is such a big upgrade. He gets 1. He's probably going to get 2.
Crazy snipes, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get 2 there. That's really good. Nice job from Hera. Yo also sacrificed scout numbers with the Vil kills. And now he's losing all of his skirmishers. We're seeing the difference in the micro between the 2 of them right there.
It's like a 9-9 KD here, and those scouts not really finding anything anymore. Spearman down, but the archers alone feels like they can do a lot of damage. But Hera, ooh, did micro.
This is what's nice about Magyar. Sometimes you can just send them in. They're cheap. They have that extra attack. And that's why it's the perfect civilization for Yo. Hera knows his archers will go down. Nice value. The kills off the last skirm. And with the reset, we've got about 5 or so scouts for Yo and 2 skirms. Hera with 2 eagles, about to be 3, and 5 archers.
Absolutely equal game. 7 military, 33 villagers, 40 population for both of them. And archer and eagle are moving out with less mobility. This feels a bit risky. I like the spot for Yo.
Yeah, you need those eagles to be close. You need those eagles to be close. Yo didn't notice, Nilly. He didn't notice. I could have got some critical hits there on those eagles before the eagles get reinforced.
Fletching now on the skirmishers. Armor coming in for the scouts. Mr. Yo is building up to his dream army composition.
Hera, though, saving up. Look at that eco balance.
Wow.
He could click up, but it's kind of fragile, right? He's not investing as much into army as Yo is. Well, I guess they're both producing around the same time, but it just feels like this could easily flip on its head quickly.
Second stable, yes or no?
Yes, absolutely. Versus Hera? Yeah. 1 range, one barracks? Absolutely.
But the goal is defensive.
Yeah.
If the goal is at the front, would love to see the second stable.
I answered for what I would do.
What I would love to see.
And my thought was like, yeah, I'm going to need a second stable. So, Yo, usually pretty happy with 1. In all fairness, he's not really floating a ton of res to produce double stable right now. He might want to save some resources for other things like armor. But Hera's about to click up here.
I'm surprised by the skirm armor. Are the skirms really the units that are getting attacked? Apparently, Mr. Yo thinks though. Now can chase this down. Bloodlines could be an option.
Yeah, I think Bloodlines, if you make 8 scouts, you usually get that. So maybe he will save for that. Hera falling back into double range. So that confirms to us his focus is crossbowmen and not eagles. The eagles are merely the setup to keep those archers alive. And I think Hera should take very little risks here, even back up to his TC.
Then the armor on the skirms makes way more sense. Mr. Yo now trying to dive. Only 4 skirms at the front though, 5.
Really good micro from Hera there, dodging some of the skirm volleys and falls right back to that TC. This is fine for him. This is absolutely fine. Good micro again there, just to dodge those skirmisher shots. And just the micro difference is so clear to me. And also lack of bloodlines really hurts here for those scouts.
3.5 scouts lost there without any answer against it. More skirmishes are being produced. Feels like Mr. Yo wants to get Castle Age as well, but the timing could be in Hera's favor.
Yeah, Hera can actually win fights before he makes it to Castle Age. I thought that Yo needed to get good fights before Hera gets there. This could be a very, very quick game. The scouts are not enough of a buffer. You almost feel like you have to produce more, but if you do, then you die in Castle Age. So Yo's just going to hold off for now and hope that he can do something here.
Just takes too much damage from those archers every time he tries to engage with those scouts. Maybe defensive tower needs to be produced, but still, Castle Age difference will be around 2.5 minutes.
Yo killed one more Vil, still behind by like 700 or 800 resources collected, and KD pretty much even overall. When Castle Age comes in, Yo is going to have to fight for 2.5 minutes against upgraded crossbowmen on a wide open map. And it feels so unlikely that he's going to be able to defend here.
Look at all the upgrades. Hera can afford everything. The eco is so clean, he didn't build a single wall.
Yep.
Now tower needs to be rushed.
Tower.
This is okay for Mr. Yo. He doesn't mind playing 1 TC for quite some time with Mass Knights here.
Yeah, you just can't lose the Vils. And ideally, your villagers are always working as well. So those farms, losing access to those is going to be a little awkward. The idle time, of course, of building and being inside the tower is awkward as well. Hera might just dive. He hasn't seen Castle Age come in yet. It's a little risky, but he feels like he has the lead, and he's just going to be underneath that tower. Now Yo can't take gold. And, oh, man, this is so brutal for Yo. He'll want knights or skirms or anything. He just won't have anything left when he makes it to Castle Age.
Look at Hera's dance. And the tower is getting low as well. Just imagine the villagers evacuating.
Yeah, I think you've almost done your damage. Look how little respect Hera's giving that tower. He does lose units eventually, but I think it was a really smart play, Nilly. Even if he doesn't kill the villagers there, his opponent's eco is completely idle, and his is fine to produce more army.
Yeah.
So the wave's coming forward.
Yeah, and now he arrives Castle Age with like 200 gold in the bank, still not collecting anything. He can't afford the knights.
Yeah. I think Yo can maybe get elite skirm for 5 skirmishers, but Mr. Yo likely to go down here, which would mean Hera would move into the grand final tomorrow. Mr. Yo has played so well. I just wonder if he's thinking about that king in this moment. My
I'm
brain,
not sure if you're thinking about the king.
I'm thinking about the king in this moment, okay? Because this game wouldn't matter as much if that didn't happen. It's usually one game that can break a really competitive series. Maybe that will be the one. Yo is able to squeeze out a couple knights.
Okay, knights great against the eagles.
There we
A
go.
lot of upgrades.
All right. Skirm no longer really a play, though, right?
Yeah.
You've lost most of them, so it's got to be knights.
Already ballistics on those crossbows. Oh, and that's scouted. That's so big by Hera.
Hera knows he's got to be on gold somewhere. He's got to be on gold somewhere. I mean, he's been off of gold for so long.
How can you save those wills? Maybe send some to the left, send some to the bottom.
Research wheelbarrow really fast, and then your Vils will be slightly faster, and then you pray.
Eagle is chasing this one down. Oh, regrouping there, helping out Mr. Yo.
Yo needs +2 armor to have any chance against these crossbows. And that will take time. And if he waits any longer, all of the villagers will die. Here come the knights. Hera will probably just take the knights down. He goes for it. Yo is fighting with the villagers now as a distraction, but Hera knows, if I just take the knights, I'll get your villagers anyways. He's not going to take the bait there. And yeah, you just need that armor against this many crossbowmen.
And look at that, ballistics paying off as well. And all of a sudden, villagers, they took the fight, now thinking better of it. Military count 20 against 6. So those knights intercepting the crossbows quite nicely, though.
Yo has really made no mistakes over the last minute or two. It's just he's simply so far behind, and Hera is not going to allow him to come back. Yo, he can only really hope for knights. He could potentially drop a siege workshop, but then you have no offensive pressure against a player who's already 10 villagers ahead of you. So Knights feel like the best play to maybe do everything that you need. Oh, but it's so painful. The wood line's so exposed. Yo has to just switch over to the other wood line. Still fighting. Does have a counterattack.
Siege Workshop now. Mangled, obviously, a great counter. Maybe even some Scorpions. Moves over there, and that's the counterattack you were talking of, T90.
I mean, that's Yo for you. He's always going to look for the counter because he knows in this situation he can't just defend. Hera's TC on the way up. Lots of buildings around. He'll notice that, and the crossbows are still moving in. I mean, Yo's not going to do enough. He's lost so many vills. 50 villagers for Hera now.
Oh, so brutal. 20 villager lead now. Tries to go for a conversion. Still no siege that can be afforded, and more knights dying.
Yo just had an auto scout go through the wood line. I just saw it on the mini-map. I think the scout just died. The knights are going to know there was a hole now. Yeah, the scout. See the scout there? I saw. They went through the wood line. And then the knights got there, and the knights die anyways. Hera has 25 crossbows.
3 military on the other side, and those are low HP knights. One Scorpion tries to maybe save the day there against all those crossbows, but even if he clears this up, there's a next group coming.
Yeah, and I think the eco's kind of hit a point where you can't make knights anymore, like maybe barely.
Whoa. 2 more, now 21 villager kills at the 26-minute mark. Brutal.
Yo, known for his fight. He knows it's going to be a long road to the final for him if he loses this, but still possible, which is good. And he just wants to ensure that this game is absolutely over before he taps out here. Feels like it probably is. The skirmishers, or sorry, the Scorpion, getting some hits on the crossbows here. Hera's got a very weak army. Hera will probably lose this army. Some positives here for Yo.
Clears this one up. 36 population against 80 though, still the story. Mr. Yo maybe looks at the score and thinks, okay, this isn't super over. Obviously, we have the vision and see how rough the battle's
That was an absolute whimper of an applause there from the crowd. that was the crowd that like your mom gives you when your team is losing 5-0 and you finally score a goal. Like, woo! Everyone else is depressed. Mr. Yo knows it's over, calls the GG. And Hera moves on to the final. What a performance from him, man. And I just keep thinking back to that steal of a game on Regicide Fortress. Otherwise, we maybe get a 5th game.
Yeah, and it feels like the set would have deserved a 5th game there.
Yeah.
But Hera, yeah, he can simply get wins in situations where he's not supposed to.
Yep, I can agree with that. Openings are solid, adaptability's there, motivation's there, of course.
Hera.
And must be a lot of fun to be able to play Age of Empires at that level.
Has to be, and yeah, obviously both of them really good friends, thinking about the game. I'm pretty sure within the first 2 sentences something like King Snipe was mentioned.
Yep, and probably from Yo, and I'm sure we'll remember that for a very long time. Hera will get to rest up a little bit, rest up the rest of the day, probably watch the next big series, which is arguably going to be even crazier, which we'll talk about in a moment. But he will be in the final best of 9 tomorrow. We just have to find out now who he eventually faces, but it's a bit of a journey to get there, right?
Yeah, tomorrow 18 UTC, the best of 9 grand final if you want to see more of Hera. But we still have to find the competitor, right? And it is the chance that Yo takes it, Leary or Viper, Leary and Viper, in the next set.
Yep, so winner of Leary Viper stays alive, will face Yo tomorrow. It's a benefit of Yo having won twice, got that far up in the winner's bracket that he's kind of a step up in that bracket. But if you would have picked the top 4 players in the world maybe, or in this tournament, these might have been the 4, right? Probably expect Hera to go to the top.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's a conversation between maybe Yo, Viper, and Leary. I know there's some other names there, probably some Tatos in some people's conversations. I'm sure there's a lot of people in Mexico who were screaming Kingston. But yeah, I mean, the exciting thing for me is just the level that we're seeing is extremely high. Even though Hera's been dominant in some of these sets, we've seen the people who go down to him play insane. I think Yo's got some things he can look to. I think Viper's got some things. Leary, I mean, they could bring another level. So exciting times, but looking forward to hearing from Hera, who's now joined us in the room, and we'll be sitting down with KP.
Thank you, Tristan. Thank you, Nilly. Yes, I'm joined by the immaculate Hera, a man that even when he's winning all the time and you want to find a way to cheer against him, he finds the weirdest and most wonderful ways of winning games. Hera, first of all, ginormous congratulations on an insane set. Mr. Yo did not go down without a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really good series.
You know, we were talking a little bit before it got thrown over to us. I would need to get your thoughts on that game number 2. I think what you just said to me is one of the best moments you've ever had.
I think that might be like one of the best moments of AV2 history, to be honest. Like that was definitely the best thing I've ever done in any game, like be it ranked, tournament, anything. So that was that was really, like, my adrenaline was pumping. That was really, really crazy for me.
And, you know, it's got to be a little bit of a relief. I was thinking here, you know, tomorrow someone's going to have to do like back-to-back sets. We talked a little bit earlier in the tournament about, you know, Ramadan and how you're handling that. Does it feel like a little bit of a relief to just be able to wait there, optimize your day, and be ready to give your best?
Yeah, I'm also sick right now, so I'm really happy to not have to play 2 sets tomorrow. Yeah, keep the distance a little. Whoever has to do that will be obviously at a disadvantage, but I think me having gone through the winners bracket, I deserve some kind of advantage, and playing only 1 set for the day seems like a good one.
Sounds like a pretty good one to me. You know, I guess you probably get asked this a lot, but what do you think it is that makes you so unbeatable right now? You know, everyone has something, some sort of key element to their gameplay, their strategies, whatever it may be, that makes them above the rest. What do you think it is for you?
I think it's just me being kind of the complete package, very well-rounded. I think I have a good mentality, and I have good confidence, but I also don't underestimate my opponents. Just kind of like you know, I've been working over the years to clean up some of the negatives of my act, both in-game and, like, you know, IRL. And I think now I'm just getting into years where I'm just feeling like everything's clicking, and I just feel like I have, you know, everything that it takes.
I mean, it definitely looks like it feels like a streak that's never going to end. Someone's going to have to eventually. Nothing can last forever, but you're on a phenomenal streak at this point. Do you want to help me out with something here?
Yeah.
We've got to talk about our sponsors that make this event possible.
Okay, I'm good at that.
Have you seen these?
I have seen those. In fact, I've signed a few of those.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I think we're going to advise people to get these signed. So you're down here, right?
No, that's I should be up in Canada.
Oh yeah, you're up here.
Yeah, that's me.
Sorry, that's hot. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So you're up here. So I was thinking about this. You let them know where you live, man.
I know. They asked me specifically where in Canada. I could have lied, but I gave them a nice little hint. And now I'm traceable. I got a flag on the map.
You know what would have made you untraceable?
What's that?
Surfshark.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
You could have been in a call with them. You could have been like, hey, yeah, guys, I'm calling in from Peru. Yeah, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm checking out Heart. We're having a good time. No one would have found you.
Exactly.
You would have been an enigma.
Exactly.
You didn't have that subscription.
And this is why you should use... Which one?
Surfshark.
Surfshark VPN. And thank you to Surfshark for supporting our AV2 community.
Yeah, and if you guys want to take advantage of them right now, they are offering 4 months extra, ! Surfshark to get that deal. It also is a great way for you to check in on the good TV shows you have back in the States right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You can use the VPN to access different you know, Netflix areas, so you can get different shows, different movies, all the good stuff. And it's just a good way to stay secure and surf the internet without any sharks.
Yeah, we don't advise swim with sharks, but if you're going to do it safe with them. But thank you. You were a pleasure for that piece. I'm going to take this away from you because this is mine. I'm sorry you can't have it.
Okay.
But you do get the incredible Jordan.
Oh, I get to talk to Jordan now?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Do I go sit there or what's going on?
Now we're going to switch like this.
Ah.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to be here with you. First time now. The first day I was a little bit too tired.
Okay.
And yeah, congratulations for an amazing series once again.
Thank you.
Hera, I would like to have a little bit of a deep dive regarding the game, so I hope you still have a little bit of energy.
Of course.
The first game we had Arabia, Mongols against Hindustanis. And there's not too much to talk about because there was a little bit of a stomp, right? You were kind of completely overwhelming. What I noticed, you had 2 archer ranges versus the one of his.
Yeah.
When do you decide to go for 2 archer ranges versus the one?
That is an excellent question. To be fair, nailed it. Jordan nailed it.
Awesome.
To be fair, I did have the option to do both basically the one range would be, it would come a little earlier, and it would be more for me playing cavalry. But in this matchup, I did not want to play cavalry because he was Hindustani with strong camel, so I wanted to end up on Expo, which is why I went for the 2 ranges.
Okay, so with the 2 ranges, you kind of risk the later Castle Age timing.
Yeah.
But that's totally fine as long as you know you can dictate the game and have the map control, right?
Yeah, exactly. I want to put pressure in Feudal and then end up on Expos and not end up on, Knights or Light Cav in that matchup specifically. Obviously, in other matchups, the other variation is possible.
Okay, makes sense, makes sense. Then I would like to jump into game number 2. For me personally, the best game in a long, long time, especially in this tournament for sure. Let's start with this little team here. I guess I don't have to ask you if that was planned. I don't think so.
No.
But I think after with the scout debating, that was planned, I suppose, right?
Yeah, I kind of felt Yo a little greedy, and I wanted to punish that, so I kind of stopped the king a little bit, gave him a little taste of what killing a king would feel like. But then, of course, I had the castle ready, so that was... I'm surprised he fell for it, but I'm really happy it happened.
He was just, look at his face, he was just smiling like, I was so close to get a win here. When the castle was hitting your king, how was your heart pressure?
I was panicking. I was like, oh no, like I made fun of Yo in like the NEC 5 for losing
was
his
against
king.
me.
I was making fun... Yeah, there you go. I was making fun of MBL. I was like, let's not join the Hall of Fame of king losers. So I was really happy it didn't go down.
Yeah, but it was a close one. And due to the map position, I guess, you being so close, you opted for the faster Imperial Age, you went for the push. What do you think was missing in your push that he was able to push you back there?
Yeah, so I think I messed up my build order initially, so my boom was actually way worse than what I wanted. And so I just didn't feel like I had the follow-up that I needed. Also, it was kind of uncharted territory. I didn't prepare or plan this, so I was improvising. And I wasn't sure if I should go karambits, if I should switch to skirms earlier. I considered elephants, and nothing really felt like it was good enough. And I feel like karambits were okay, but his push was kind of unstoppable.
It kind of was unstoppable, but you managed to stop it somehow, right? Most players would have just died in your situation. You managed to defend for a good while, and here we have the best moment so far. So we had a discussion.
Yeah.
People were asking, was that planned? I said most likely Hera just wanted to raid. What's your opinion? Did you want to go for the king snipe?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I wanted to go for the king snipe just because raiding does nothing at that point. I'm all in anyway. So my idea, I'm surprised it worked, but my idea was to push the trebs and then hopefully send Lycav there to force the king out and then flank.
Wow.
And the problem is the trebs didn't work. So my plan didn't work, but he was trying to play it extra safe, sent the king away, and so it ended up being good enough. And I have never felt adrenaline like that. Like I literally couldn't move.
Insane. Yeah, that just goes to show how strong you are. It's incredible. So yeah, it was a perfect game, and also your the fact that you were able to keep in the game and fight for so long, that just shows how strong you are as a champion. So good job on that one.
Thank you.
Third game was Coastal Mountain,
Yeah.
and he did a very early aggression with the forward. Did you feel like he dealt enough damage to get a little bit of an advantage, or did you feel like you defended well?
No, excuse me. I definitely felt like he did enough damage. Did a lot more than I expected, to be fair. I thought I read the game well with the 2 militia that I did initially, but then I didn't expect a follow-up in Feudal. And unfortunately, none of my traps really worked. That was a really nice play from him. But yeah, ended up taking way too much damage. I think I lost like 2-3 vills, and the position was really awkward.
Okay. Do you think that is the reason why you were losing the game? Was it the fight with the knights against the pike, which kind of allowed him to get the map control? What do you think was the tipping point there in this game?
I think this is probably where I lost. Anything else would be considered a comeback for me. And like even here, position's kind of even. If I just don't take the fight and raid, I could win. But the problem is Goth kind of go to a better late game, and he had the relics. So I feel like I lost it in Feudal, and I almost clawed my way back, but it was not enough.
Okay, so you took that fight because you felt like, okay, if you try to raid, then he gets the better economy, still has time to expand and then overwhelm you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I just didn't feel like I'm going to find that much value with the raid, so I wanted to keep the front and maybe a forward castle, something more powerful, and in the end I just completely got snowballed. So that was just good play from him.
How do you cope with those losses? Because that's the first game you lost this tournament. Does that bother you at all? Sometimes I have the feeling that pushes you even more.
Yeah, so I think that's something I learned from Red Bull Will 06, where I thought I was playing like a really good tournament, and I wanted to go for the undefeated, like losing 0 games.
Yeah.
and I went in with the wrong mentality, thinking like the semifinals was going to go 3-0 in my favor. So when I lost the game, my entire image of the tournament in my head completely crumbled. So I've completely phased that out of my game and my tournament. So now I don't care to have a perfect record. I just care to get the job done.
Amazing.
And so the losses don't affect me at all anymore.
Amazing. I think I also heard you once that play each game like it's the first. Like don't even think about the past, right?
Yeah, play the moment. Like we
Yeah.
move to the next one. It's just Mines, Magyars on Land Madness. There's nothing more to it,
Awesome. Also, this game, I've noted perfect execution. Not too much to say there. Just one topic. Like Mayans is not picked too often here, as they're like not the fastest civilization. Usually, you have the more mobile civilizations. Did you feel comfortable going against Magyars? I suppose you expected that.
Yeah, so Magyars would be what's considered to be like the best civ on the map, or at least the most played. But I honestly noticed a lot of weaknesses of the civ in practice and just over like the years, and I really feel like the meta has to shift on Land Madness. I don't think we're playing it correctly, and I think what I did with Mayans is more, is just stronger. Like I think if we can play this matchup like 10 times and Mayans would win 9.
Oh wow!
In equal skilled opponents. And the only danger is really if I get overwhelmed in Feudal, but it's way harder to do that than you'd expect. And Mines on 9-vil start are obviously a bit stronger than 3-vil because you don't need to get Loom. So just a combination of reasons, I feel like Mines are a lot stronger there than you'd expect them to be. And Magyars maybe a little overrated.
Ah, okay, interesting. You say meta or the way people are playing it is not the best. What do you think can be tweaked before you spoil anything? You don't have to say, obviously.
Yeah, no, I don't mind talking about it just because I think like other pros, if they see a game like that, they kind of can jump to the same conclusions. But basically, just opening scouts with a civ that doesn't get an eco bonus is really abusable, and it's very predictable because then all I have to do is not take damage to the scouts, and I'm completely safe. So I feel like players have to recalibrate a little bit, maybe away from the scout rush, or do scouts with a civ that has an eco bonus that can do the skirm follow up. Because right now, like a strong archer civ just does not die to scouts early.
Okay, because you also can wall and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Hera, thank you so much for your input. I think you totally deserve the advantage tomorrow to only play one set. You deserve that one. And we will throw it over to Nili, who has a perfect update for us.